What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, right here on YouTube. Nick Fiore, co-host 1. Adam Carl next to me, co-host number 2. And no intro for whatever reason. Stuff like that.
May as well start now.
Yeah, I mean,
May as well keep
the live, just at the live button. But we do have the little here we go. But yeah, no intro to the just press live, but no intro. Then what's up, everybody? But that's fine. But have it at the end of the video. But anyways, this is the Royal Rumble. This is episode 10. Episode 10 of the Forbidden Podcast, bro. 10 episodes. It's 10th episode, Forbidden Podcast. Me, Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, Adam Carl, man. It's January 31st. It's the day of the Royal Rumble where we just watched the Rumble hours ago from 2 to like almost 6 o'clock and stuff like that. We got a lot to talk about. The Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Road to WrestleMania starts with the Rumble. They had some little stories coming out of the Rumble, but we'll give our thoughts on the Rumble, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we thought of the show, etc., etc. It is 8:21 p.m. on January 31st. It's tomorrow is, can't you believe it, bro? Tomorrow's going to be February.
Yeah, time has passed by this year already.
It's crazy, man. It really, really is. And actually coming up tomorrow. And, I mean, try not to be a little too emotional tomorrow, because tomorrow is actually 3 years that my grandfather passed away 3 years ago. He was 85 and was a fighter till the end, but tomorrow's 3 years that he passed. But that's tomorrow, February 1st. We got January 31st here, talking about the Royal Rumble. I'm Nick Fiore, and this is Adam Carl next to me on my right as you're watching this video. And as you see, beautiful layout that Mitch and Pyro, and shout out to Mitch and Pyro for the beautiful layout for episode 10 for the Forbidden Podcast. Starting here, episode 10 of Forbidden Podcast, see with my X handle as well as Adam Carl's X handle as well. Got the Forbidden Podcast logo on the upper right corner. Really nicely done. The background as well. Gotta love to see it. And I thought Mitch and Pyro did a really good job, and so I thanked them for that. And shout out to Mitch and to Pyro as well, who, by the way, speaking of whom, Pyro of Pyro Productions is actually working on the Forbidden Podcast intro. Expect that around April or May for the intro to come exclusively for the Forbidden Podcast. That Pyro and I have been talking lately of Pyro. Pyro's cooking up some nice intro music for the intro. He's cooking up some nice stuff. Listen to some of the stuff he's come up with. Really good stuff. And so Pyro's really good at making the intro stuff. So shout out to him and thanking him for the intro. So the intro is coming, folks. By April, May at the latest, the intro will come exclusively for FioriousNation. So look forward to that. I think you're going to love it. So thought I'd get that out there. And before we begin talking about the Royal Rumble, which was in Saudi earlier, first of all, hit that like button. It would help a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Hit the like on the video, especially if you're new watching FioriousNation and Forbidden Podcast on YouTube, and hit the bell for all notifications after you go subscribe to FioriousNation. I am almost at 250 subscribers at the 247. Can we get at least 3 more with this video? I don't know, but
hopefully,
if you're
maybe
watching,
get to 300,000 soon.
Yeah, but make sure if you're not subscribed to FioriousNation, man. A lot of good stuff talking about, and you're missing out on quite a lot if you're not subscribed to FioriousNation. So go subscribe to FioriousNation and follow me on X at FiorioNick579. You see it as the bottom left corner on this when you're watching this video is my X handle at FiorioNick579. Go follow me on X. Adam Carl at Adam Carl 2005 on the bottom right. Go follow Adam Carl on X as well at Adam Carl 2005. Facebook, Nicholas Period, Fiore Period 31, TikTok at FioriousNation, Instagram at Nicholas Fiore 2014. Now this is live on YouTube, on my channel, and Hardcore Sports Network as well. I don't know. I've been thinking about it, either February, if not February, March, trying one experiment going live on X or something like that. We'll see, but that's just a thought or at least a consideration, but we'll see what happens with that. But, bro, the Royal Rumble. What did you think of the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia? I want to get your thoughts.
I believe it was solid. It was a fairly decent show. There was one thing I'll give the company for my favorite parts of both matches in the women's and the men's Rumble is that there was story. There were different stories being told in those matches, and you kind of know coming out of both matches what the directions are for WrestleMania. You know, the title matches, the non-title feuds, all that stuff, and other matches. You know, maybe also for the mid-card belts.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you got with the well, maybe for the women's IC title, but we'll talk a little bit about that with the Natty and Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch. AJ Lee, I'm sure she was supposed to be at the Rumble. Maybe she didn't want to travel for Saudi. I can't blame her, honestly. But I want to talk about Saudi.
We did see a few surprises though in the Rumble matches. You know, in the women's and the men's.
Yeah, I mean,
there was one in particular.
Triple H did tease big surprises and epic. I don't know. I don't know if it's TKO telling him to say this shit, but it's like you gotta cool off on that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we did get to see one big surprise, but we'll save that when we get to the men's Rumble portion.
Yeah, but
we'll save that to the
I want to talk about the Rumble overall. I don't know how you feel. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in the minority here. I thought the Rumble was okay. It wasn't bad, but man, that Saudi crowd didn't help at all. Most of the women in that Rumble got no reaction, and you can thank the Saudi crowd for that. Like, and this is the same place they're going to be at for WrestleMania 43 next year in 2027. Honestly. And the production, man, like the production from the Saudi thing is just, it wasn't up either. Like that, you don't need a long ramp for the Rumble. Like you look at the ramp, and every interval, like every entrant felt like 60 seconds instead of 90 seconds. I'm not sure if you picked up on that. And it felt a little rushed. It almost feels like, as I said on episode 9 last week with these Saudi shows, it feels like WWE doesn't even want to be there. They just want to get in, get the fuck out, and get to where they need to be. That's what I genuinely feel about these Saudi shows. Like I know they're going to be in Saudi at Mania next year, but I mean, I know their deal's up in 2028, but I mean, my goodness, these Saudi shows now there's a reason these Saudi shows don't mean a fucking thing. You see right here, the Saudi and Saudi people want who they want. They want to cheer what they want to cheer. And it's sad. Like, I really, the build wasn't all that good. The Rumble was fine. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't even a bad show, but this doesn't help when you have a lifeless Saudi crowd who doesn't give a fuck about what they want to cheer, what they don't want to cheer for. They just pick who they pick. They like who they like. That's what I genuinely feel about this Rumble today. And I hope after tonight, and I just talked about this with Mitch before I went live here, I hope WWE never goes back to Saudi for the Rumble ever again. If this was in the United States, I guarantee you this would be a hell of a lot better than what it was today. And plus, with the women wearing the bodysuits, didn't help also. That's just my little rant, my thoughts on with the Rumble today. Again, it wasn't bad, But I have to be honest and call out what I didn't like. But that's just me.
I won't blame it. I won't blame it particularly on the crowd as much as I would have to blame it on the fact that when you hear a music and during these Rumble matches, like nobody knows who's gonna come out.
Like Jordan Grace coming out with
Like,
Def Rebel and then Natty as well. Didn't she have some music when she was on the Indies as this Bloodsport Natty?
I think.
Yeah, it was some music.
Or Zelina Vega coming out to
with
music that we
awful
don't
beat.
even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is the crowd supposed to react when they don't know who's coming out? Like,
some women didn't look good. Felt like Barry tonight, but some women didn't look good out there. Could have been presented a lot better. Like Jordan Grace could have been presented better. Honestly, Candice LeRae.
I'm not gonna blame it on the crowd as much as they didn't know who's gonna come out. And with the thing is with these Saudi shows, the thing is, I think we described this, on episode 9. It's just WWE, they just try, they want to get their check. They know they're getting guaranteed contracts because they're getting paid what, $50 million per show.
Yeah,
I believe they're gonna get 2 more Saudi shows this year because they won't, rather than the usual 2, because there's only gonna be WrestleMania in Saudi in 2027. So we're gonna have 2 more Saudi shows this year. So they're getting paid $50 million per show. So pretty much they're getting the cash. They're doing the show, but get in, get out. That's basically the process. It's like they don't want to even put on the show, or specifically Triple H. Like he doesn't want to put on these shows. He just,
it feels like they don't even want
in and get out quickly.
It feels like they don't even want to be there. It feels like they genuinely don't want to fucking be there.
Like look at the Women's Rumble, for example. Like, when did they come out? The entries, 60 seconds?
Yeah, and when it's supposed to be 90 seconds, it felt like 60.
Yeah,
and then
I think the Rumble
and then you
match
walk down the long ramp, right? There's that long ramp you walk down. It's like if the ramp was like half of the size, like shorter than the long ramp, it would have been better. Because it felt like every 60 seconds instead of 90 seconds, these new entrants coming out.
Yeah, 60 seconds. Yeah, and I think the men's one was 2 minutes.
Something like that, but still.
Yeah.
I didn't like how that was presentation-wise. I didn't like how that was presented at all. And they got a lot of work to do if they don't want that same thing for WrestleMania in Saudi next year.
I think they'll probably do it better in Mania and Saudi.
I hope so.
It's their biggest show of the year. How can you mess it up? I think they'll probably do it much better. But with the Rumble matches, there was a lot of quick eliminations. We're gonna discuss it in more detail.
There was some questionable things I have to question.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't even a bad show, but there's some questionable things I have to question on.
Yeah. Yeah, it did really feel like they just wanted to get out there as soon as possible. Get in, do the show, and then just get out quickly.
Exactly.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. But we have the Rumble. Mark Nash was the announcer. Love Mark Nash. I think he's great.
Yeah. He has a good voice and able to introduce the wrestlers.
Exactly. You had Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on commentary as well for tonight's Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
As well. We did have some couple dark matches, as if anyone cares. With Wyatt Six.
Yeah, there was a few pre-show matches.
Yeah, Wyatt Six and MFTs. Who cares? New Day and Grayson Waller versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Shinsuke Nakamura. It's 2 dark matches. Like, I'm not going to even talk about those. They're dark matches. But we do start to show off with the Women's Royal Rumble. Charlotte Flair was number 1 and Alexa Bliss was number 2. Not too bad for starting, but I kind of figured they would start the Rumble as entries 1 and 2. Then we had Charlotte and Alexa were teasing eliminations, and this was like silly, like, just pretending to eliminate each other. It was a little silly. I gotta call it out. It was silly. And then we get number 3.
I mean, I know they're tag partners,
but yeah,
I get their tag team partners, but like it's a Royal Rumble match. It's everyone for themselves.
Yeah. Then we get number 3 come out, Kiana James. Then number 4. Nia Jax, Number 5, Ivy Nile. Number 6 from NXT, Lola Vice. So she was from NXT. That's a nice appearance for Lola Vice. She got no reaction, but it's like, this is like, it's not. I mean, Lola Vice is very talented, and the Saudis gave her no reaction. Like this Saudi crowd really brought down the show a lot. I gotta be real with you. This is why I'm saying right now, and I'm gonna say it once again. The Royal Rumble should never be in Saudi ever again. If you're giving Lola Vice, of all talented women from NXT, no reaction, I don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me. It really doesn't.
I will chalk it up to the fact that this is Lola's first match on the main roster, and this is the first time she's in Saudi.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. It's just Lola Vice is it has some of the good reactions down in NXT. It doesn't sit with me when you have Saudis not reacting. But she was in this thing as number 6. Number 7 was Candice LeRae. Number 8 was Jordynne Grace. And from here, we had the first 2 eliminations, Lola Vice and then Candice LeRae, eliminated by Jordynne Grace. And then third eliminated Ivy Nile by Jordynne Grace as well. And then following this, we had Alexa and Nia. Alexa's jumping at Nia from behind, trying to choke her out. They both go over the top rope. Then Charlotte boots Nia, but accidentally knocks Alexa down. So Nia's out by Charlotte, and then Alexa Bliss is out by Charlotte as well. And Alexa, Charlotte's own partner, eliminated accidentally by Charlotte. So they did tease Charlotte and Alexa here with a story of Charlotte eliminating Alexa in the Royal Rumble. And Charlotte was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, Lexi." Then Alexa was kind of like looking with a reaction. But they did tease with Charlotte and Alexa with this Rumble. I don't know if we get Charlotte versus Alexa at WrestleMania, or if they're going to be some multi-woman match for the women's tag titles at WrestleMania. But I really feel if you want to help SmackDown's women's division a lot, you split Charlotte and Alexa up and maybe have them face each other at WrestleMania. And there is that story there where they break up and have Alexa be a heel, Charlotte be a face. And I feel like the women's division could use Charlotte as a singles act and Alexa as a singles act. Because right now they don't have anything outside of Jade Cargill and Jordynne Grace. And by the way, Jade Cargill, who's failed as women's champion, she's not a good champion at all. But I don't know how you feel about Charlotte and Alexa splitting up. Do you think we get Charlotte and Alexa at WrestleMania one-on-one, or do you get them in like a multi-woman match for the women's tag titles, for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania? And if that's the route we go with, or they go with, WWE rather, do you see Charlotte and Alexa splitting after WrestleMania?
I think they go with the women's tag, multi-women tag for the tag titles in Mania. I think Charlotte and Bliss will be a part of it because they've been building tensions between multiple teams for months now. I don't see how this doesn't end in a multi-women tag in Mania. Mm-hmm. But I do see this as a story for post WrestleMania. I think they build the tension more as they built the Mania, and after Mania is when we see the split. That's when we see Bliss turn on Charlotte.
If they do the turn after WrestleMania, they announced Backlash this May 9th in Tampa, Florida for Backlash. If the split happens after Mania, maybe we get Charlotte versus Alexa at Backlash. But I think Charlotte and Alexa for WrestleMania. If they don't, I could see Charlotte versus Alexa at Backlash.
Yeah.
And they did announce Backlash this May in Tampa, Florida. So
I could see this would be where you could do the match. I think you need more time to build for the feud. If you're starting to do the tension now, we can just rush the turn and just book a match out of the fly. I think you need to build it. You need to build the tension more.
Yeah, I mean they have WrestleMania third week of April, but we'll see what they do. But I did like that little story thing with Charlotte and Alexa in this Royal Rumble. I did like that. Then we get number 9, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch, comes out. Number 10 from NXT, Sol Ruka. Now, she really shined in this Rumble, man. And I'm telling you, man, if you thought Sol Ruka was going to flop on the main roster, look at this Women's Rumble. She fucking killed it. It was even in the final 3 with Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan. Sol Ruka was given Soul Snatchers, eliminating the NXT Women's Champion J.C. Jane, which we'll talk about, who was also in this Rumble. But Sol Ruka, man, and the woman is ready for a call-up to the main roster. She's been ready, and she's so fucking good. One of the future pieces of the company, no questions asked. She is going to do very well for herself on the main roster, and she's going to be a big deal. I think she's one of the next big things in the WWE for years and years to come. She's so fucking good, Sol Ruka, and so damn athletic. Put her on SmackDown. Put Sol Ruka on SmackDown right now.
And
Put Sol Ruka on SmackDown right now. The woman's ready. She's been ready too.
Now she can easily build a connection with the audience. I think she's somebody that the fans can relate to. You know, she's laid back. She's incredibly athletic. She's really good in the ring. Yeah, I think she's got a charm to her. I think that will resonate with the main roster audience. And she already has experience on the main roster. She was at Evolution. She faced Bayley at Saturday Night's Main Event. She challenged for the tag titles with Zarya against Bliss and Charlotte.
Yeah. You could slaughter on.
There's a match you could book for on the main roster right there. Charlotte versus Sol Ruka.
You could, yeah.
That would be a fantastic match.
Absolutely. Slot Sol Ruka in the mid-card on Raw. She'd fit very well. Mid-card SmackDown fit very well as well. I would honestly put her on SmackDown. I'd put her on SmackDown. I think that show needs her more than Raw. SmackDown's women's division needs all the help they can get. And adding Sol Ruka on the show will do the show more good than bad. And like I said, the woman has been ready for several months. I don't know why she wasn't called up months ago, but she's ready. And there's nothing left for her down in NXT. She did eliminate the NXT Women's Champion, J.C. Jane, who was in this match. She won't win the NXT Women's title. I think that spot's for Kendall Gray at WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas, stand and deliver, in my opinion. But I think Sol Ruka deserves to call up more than anyone. She's ready, and she deserves it. And when she gets called up, she's going to do very, very well for herself. I'm telling you right now, she is going to be one of the next big things in this company for several years to come. If this Rumble didn't show you that, I don't know what did. And if you thought Triple H was going to flop her, think again and watch this Women's Rumble. That's all you need to know.
Just look at Roxanne Perez. Like last year, she was the final 3. She was the final 2.
Yeah.
Look what she's done on the main roster.
And she lasted,
to the Raw Women's division
and set a record for the longest time spent in one Women's Rumble last year in the final 2 with Charlotte Flair last year.
Yeah.
So Ruka's going to be fine.
And should look at her right now. Integral into that Raw Women's division. Integral to, with the storyline that we're going to talk about with the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Especially what happened during the match.
Yes. So Ruka's going to be
I think she will be in a similar position to Roxanne, where she's going to be absolutely a star in that division.
Yeah, so Ruka's going to be
integral and pushed like a top star.
Absolutely. And has so much charisma in ring. She has it all. And she'll be just fine when she gets the main roster. So I'm very excited whenever Sol Ruka gets called up. She's going to fucking kill it. So then after Sol Ruka enters, we got Roxanne Perez. Speaking of Roxanne, enters at number 11. We got Maxine Dupree, number 12. Natty, not Natalia, Natty, number 13. She comes out to some Def Rebel music, and they need to fight. And why is Def Rebel still employed? Why are they still here? Why have we still not gotten rid of Def Rebel is what I'd love to know. And I'd love to be a fly on the wall with that one. Def Rebel fucking sucks at making music, man. They are terrible. Terrible. Why can't we get CFO money back? At least they know how to make music. Def Rebel couldn't even make music if their fucking lives depend on it. I can make better music than Def Rebel. That's how fucking bad they are. It amazes me how they still even have a job.
Yeah,
man, they must be hanging on real desperate to still be employed by WWE, man.
Yeah, honestly, this is my biggest problem with these Rumble matches because whenever you enter, because when you enter a Rumble, you want to hear that first few seconds of a theme and you recognize who's coming out.
Yes.
Like who recognizes the? I mean, obviously, when you hear, let's say, oh, let's rock and roll. Obviously, Trish Stratus, right?
Yeah.
That's what you recognize. Or,
Yep.
or you hear, let's say, for example, I don't
I'm
know.
on the own Bianca Belair, which we didn't see.
Yeah, Becky Lynch, for example, right
Yeah,
there.
Becky Lynch.
Or her new theme music. Or Bianca Belair, I'm on my own against the wall.
Yes. Rhea
You
Ripley.
want recognizable themes. Rhea Ripley, this is my brutality. You want recognizable themes. Like, how many of these themes during the match that were recognizable? I can count on one hand how many of them were recognizable.
Not many. Even look at back in the day, bro, Jim Johnston, like with his wrestling music creation. Everyone that he made music for had identity to it. Perfect, like many examples I could give, like RVD, Kane, Booker T. RVD when he had One of a Kind, and Kane with Slow Chemical, Booker T, Rap Sheet, Shawn Michaels, Sexy Boy, Triple H, The Game by Motorhead, Big Show, Crank It Up by Brand New Sin, Batista, I Walk Alone by Saliva, well, it's the Big Show. Yeah. John Cena, The Time Is Now, Edge, Metalingus by Alter Bridge, Randy Orton, Voices by Rev Theory, the CM Punk, Cult Personality, and This Fire Burns before Cult Personality. The list goes on and on and on. Rey Mysterio, Booyaka 619. The list goes on and on and on. Every single music for every single wrestler that Jim Johnston made for had identity to it. Name me, like, how many, can you count on one hand there's identity to Def Rebel? Name me on account of one hand that Def Rebel makes music with has identity. Name me at least a hand. Like, count on one hand. You can't find many. You can't find many music that Def Rebel has made that has identity to it. Everything just feels generic. Like a generic boom, 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 boom.
Or the beginning
like a generic
lyrics to a
fucking
theme
beat.
music being a wrestler's catchphrase.
It's some fucking generic music you hear from WWE 2K25 or 2K26. That's what it sounds like. And it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful. They really need to fire Def Rebel and get them the fuck out and get somebody in there who actually knows how to make music. Because what Def Rebel is making is not music. It's garbage, is what it is.
For real.
Yeah. So we got
Natty. It was Natty, not Natalia. She pissed on Natalia's grave. If you've seen Natty's post on Twitter.
Yep. We get elimination number 6, Maxine Dupree out by Becky Lynch. And then Becky Lynch, the 7th, eliminated by Natalia. Becky Lynch didn't even last that long. I didn't like that. You'd think she'd last a little longer. Somebody's women in this match. Somebody's women in this match. That's another thing I didn't like. Some of these women didn't last longer than they should have lasted longer than they should have. Like Becky Lynch was one of them.
I was shocked. I was shell shocked that they had Becky eliminated this quickly. Like she's your biggest, she's one of your biggest stars in that division. She's your IC champion. And surely the plan is for Becky to face AJ Lee at WrestleMania for the IC title. So it was very questionable to just throw her out there like she was nothing.
Yeah.
It feels like
WWE didn't even want to be in Saudi. They just wanted to get out of there as quick as they could.
Out there to toss her this quickly, it's very questionable.
Honestly,
it really did feel like it really did feel like they just wanted to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
It's like if WWE wanted absolutely zero to do with Saudi, and they didn't even want to fucking be in Saudi, and they just wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. That's what it felt like.
Honestly,
that's what also felt like without the show too.
Yeah.
I hope they never go back to Saudi for the Rumble again, and based on the reaction some of these people got. these wrestlers.
Honestly, if this was anywhere else, honestly, if this was like in the States, I mean, no disrespect to Saudi or the fans over there, but honestly, if this was in the US, or if this was maybe London, in England, or France, or Germany, I think these matches would have lasted longer. The Rumble matches, I would say, would have lasted a lot longer than they were. And guys and girls that were in the match would have lasted longer than they were.
And the people that didn't get much of a reaction that they should have in Saudi would have gotten a much better reaction had they been in the States or like in the UK.
Probably.
Good chance. Good chance it would have been. Good chance the reaction wise would have been a hell of a lot better, like 1,000.
No hate to the Saudi people or the Saudi country in general, but that's honestly how we feel.
Yeah.
Because the decisions in the Rumble matches were very odd. And it just kept going with this match, with the women's one specifically. With Becky getting eliminated far early. Like, you would think, like, no, she wasn't going to win. And honestly, she shouldn't have won. But she could have made it to the final 6 at least.
Yeah.
At the very least, make it to the final 6, final 7.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
It was just odd.
Yeah. We got number 14 coming out. Liv Morgan. 15 Lash Legend. She also eliminated Jordan Grace in the match, who was the 8th one out, was Jordan Grace by Lash Legend. Number 16 came out, Zelina Vega. Why she was in this spot, I don't know. This felt like a fucking waste of a spot to me. Why was she even in this Rumble to begin with?
I have no idea.
Number 17, Raquel Rodriguez. Big sexy Raquel Rodriguez, who fights Stephanie Vetcare in a Philly street fight for the women's world title this Monday night on Raw in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which WWE will finally be back to the U.S. this Monday. And I can't wait for them to get back to the U.S. because that's when business will start picking up once again. I genuinely feel.
Yeah.
Especially with what happened with the Rumble and the stories coming out and with the Rumble winners and stuff. I genuinely feel business will start picking up again once we start going into Raw this Monday in Philadelphia, which let's be real, Philly is more times than not a great crowd. And I've been to Philly for WrestleMania 40 weekend 2 years ago. Great crowd. Great fucking crowd. So I honestly can't wait for Raw in Philly this Monday. So then we get 18, Chelsea Green. No Alba Fire, just Chelsea Green. They had some comedic thing with Alba Fire pulling Chelsea Green, the other women pulling Chelsea. It was comedic, but we do get Julia number 19, Io Sky number 20 as well.
She was one of the few that got a good reaction when she came out.
Yeah, Io Sky. Yes, and deservedly so. Should get a good reaction. And no Io Sky slander allowed, by the way. If anyone slanders Io Sky, blocked.
Exactly.
Blocked. Io Sky is not boring, and Io Sky doesn't suck. She's not overrated. If I see any Io Sky slander, you're fucking blocked, no questions asked.
Yeah.
She entered at number 20. We also got, let me look here, Jordan Grace up by Lash Legend. We also got Kiana James, and before Julia came out, Kiana James was the 9th woman eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez. And Kiana James, man, she lasted a good while in this match. Like, she entered at number 3, and she lasted a good, 20, 25 minutes. If you were to ask me my women's Royal Rumble this year MVP, I would say Kiana James, man. I would.
This was honestly her best main roster.
And I didn't expect her to perform this actually decent in this Rumble. I expect her to be one of the first people eliminated, but she actually did pretty well.
Yeah, this was honestly her best performance on the main roster since she's been called out. And it's impressive because, she was out for so long with a knee injury.
And she's still new.
So long with that. Yeah, she was out for a knee injury. They tried to reintroduce you with the whole Julia pairing. Now they're going to challenge for the tag team titles against Io and Rhea.
Yeah.
And, there was a spot where she did a Samoan drop, I believe, on Nia Jax, which looked great.
Yeah. And Kiana James is someone, and Kiana James is someone And Kiana James is someone, and I like this about Kiana James. She's not scared to bump or get her hands dirty. I like that.
Yeah.
And she can actually wrestle.
Yeah, I was impressed. Big things that may come her way with her and Julia, hopefully. Honestly, if
Yeah.
we're up to me, I'd give them the tag belts.
Yeah, I would too. I would give them the tag titles and probably do Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania because they should have a big match both at WrestleMania. And there's a story where Rhea's never beaten Io. You could have them drop the titles to Kiana and Julia. Then Io or Rhea, one of them turns on each other. And then we get Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania. And there's a story there where Rhea's never beaten Io. And Rhea can finally beat Io at WrestleMania.
Like, why not?
I love that.
That's a great story there.
I don't see why not at all. You know? They may be friends, but they're not going to be pairing forever. And I would have Rhea Ripley face Io Sky at WrestleMania, and Rhea goes over, where she finally beats Io. It's what I would do, honestly. And then we get Julia. Now we did get the 10th elimination in this match. Zelina Vega out by Julia, as it should be. We got number 21 come out, Asuka. The ring starts to fill here, as you can see. Rhea Ripley comes out, 22, Monster Pop. And she wore something on her nose like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I don't know what that was, but I don't know what that was for, but...
Did she have a broken nose or something?
No, I don't think she did. She had some like little red color on her nose. I don't know what that was for, but... She did
I'll give the Saudi this. I'll give the Saudi crowd this, though. When they do react, they react big.
They do, but...
And some of the reactions they gave weren't really good, but when they do react, they react big. And they show that they are a great crowd.
Well,
and this is the thing, though, when you have someone like a Rhea who is a star, and you have and has a recognizable theme too. When you have a recognizable theme, the crowd instantly know and they instantly pop.
Yeah,
Rhea's a perfect example.
We did get Rhea Ripley eliminating Chelsea Green, so thanks for coming, Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
We also got the 12th one eliminated in this match, Roxanne Perez by Rhea Ripley. Roxanne also got tossed out by Rhea as well. I think we also got Natty eliminated by Liv Morgan as well. Also, we did then get Bayley come out, number 23. She got no reaction. I hate that role model theme she has. Role model. It's fucking awful, bro. It is awful.
Yeah, the opening theme for The Miz, where it says awesome. We need a new opening theme music. That's it. That spells awful to describe these theme musics that Def Rebel produce.
Bailey's
literally. You have somebody like a Bailey.
So bad.
You have someone like a Bailey who's one of your top stars, one of the most respected people in that company, and she's coming out to fucking silence. Again, a case of what bad theme music will do to a talent. Nobody knows who's coming out until the person enters in a Rumble match.
This is why theme music is so important for a wrestler. Theme music for a wrestler goes a very long way. I tell you, fucking Def Rebel as soon as possible.
Wasn't her last theme a Def Rebel one?
Yeah, Bailey's is by Def
Rebel.
Wasn't her last theme?
Yeah. Wasn't her last theme Def Rebel 2 Deliverance? Why don't you bring that back?
Yeah.
At least it's recognizable.
Yeah. But we do have 24 come out from NXT, the NXT Women's Champion JC Jane. Got no reaction. Happy to see her in this Rumble. She's gotten a little better recently, but I would say she gets called up after WrestleMania. I think she drops the NXT Women's Championship to Kendall Gray at Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend this April in Las Vegas. Then she gets called up after WrestleMania, and I'd put her on SmackDown just like Soruka, man, honestly. Put her on SmackDown just like Soruka. I'd even call Lola Vice and put her on SmackDown too.
I mean, a lot of these women need to be called up to SmackDown. Just that division is so fucking depleted. You already got so many stars on the Raw side.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
just,
need
I
more.
mean, they have Jordan Grace, but that's not enough. And I didn't like what they did with Jordan Grace tonight, honestly. I mean, yeah, first elimination's nice by Jordan Grace, but didn't even last like 10 minutes. She should have lasted at least to like the final 8 at least or something, you know? And she's
She's a
another
genuine pro.
she's just another one that has Def Rebel music that's garbage.
Yeah.
She's another one. Like, what is with the awful music by Def Rebel, man?
I have no. Ask them.
Seriously.
I don't work
Def
there. I may as
Rebel
well ask them.
fucking sucks, man. Please get Def Rebel out. That'll be the best thing to ever happen to the company is if we can Def Rebel and show them the fucking door. They are terrible. More times than not, the music they make is garbage. It's garbage. The only good songs they make are for like the Samoans, like Roman Reigns. And I'm sure Roman Reigns has more input in the music that he has than Def Rebel does. I'm very sure.
Yeah.
You know? We then got number 25, Nikki Bella. I didn't want to see this. I was hoping not, but we unfortunately got Nikki Bella. Why?
Well,
Why?
you'll know why because someone else came out during the match, but we'll get to her later.
We got Lyra Valkyria, the Bird Lady, number 26. The Bird Lady, Lyra Valkyria, Bailey's tag team partner. We did have Lyra eliminate Julia, though, as Julia was the 14th eliminated by Lyra Valkyria was Julia. And then we get number 27 from NXT, Kalani Jordan. Got no reaction, and poor Kalani Jordan, man. She deserved so much better. She was decent. She's athletic. She's very impressive, very talented. And I've been liking her heel work in NXT, but she deserved better with this crowd here.
Honestly, a lot of these NXT women, honestly, this was like their first trip to Saudi.
Yeah.
Or one of their first trips. Yeah, a lot of them were unrecognizable to that crowd.
And with the women in the body suits, like you don't like who's that? Who's this? Who's that? That also doesn't help. I know they're in Saudi, but that also doesn't help either. This is why the Rumble should never be in Saudi again. If they were in the Rumble, this would be fucking night and day. I swear to God, it would be night and day.
Honestly, a lot of these women, honestly, this is the, with JC and I think Soruku too, and Kalani. Like, this is their first match on live TV in Saudi. So it's like, I can't really fault the crowd that much because, this is their first introduction to them. How do they react to them if they've never seen them before?
Yeah, but just production wise and how crowd reacted, it shouldn't be like that. It's not good. It's not good, but we do have Kairi Sane come out at number 28. We did have in this match, Kairi Sane coming out. If I can find my notes, here it is. Asuka was accidentally eliminated by Kairi Sane, and Asuka's yelling, "Kairi, Kairi!" And then Asuka was accidentally out by Kairi, and then Kairi gets eliminated by Io, and then Asuka is looking very angry at Kairi Sane as Asuka, and I would not want to be in Asuka's way, and Asuka's going to be very disappointed with Kairi.
I think I said it when we were watching the show together. If I'm Kairi, I'm running away. I'm going into hiding.
You think, bro? They could very well. I don't know if they're going to be in the women's tag title match at Mania, but if not, I could see Asuka versus Kairi at Mania, and I think I would not mind that. And there's that story there.
Yeah, Asuka being very manipulating Kairi, treating and abusing her. Yeah. Now Kairi, she by accident, but she still eliminated Asuka.
Yeah. There's a story right there.
Yeah.
So. And then, unfortunately, and I'm sorry, bro, 29, Primo, fuck me. Brie Bella, man, fuck me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Fun fact, this was also my same reaction when the theme music hit and he got angry too.
Are you fucking serious? of all the people in this women's rumble, you have Brie Bella as a surprise entrant. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? My God, I swear I had my head in shame. And when I say I had my head in shame, I had my head in shame when I heard Brie Bella come out. She got a good reaction because she is married to Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan. But still, man, why? Why?
Oh my god. Your meltdown is happy. I can't stop laughing. I can't
What
stop.
the fuck was that? I was like, fuck me. Fuck me. Like, really, Brie Bella in this fucking thing? My God. Fucking. No fucking words for this shit, bro. None.
Oh man. Oh man, this was also my exact same reaction when I heard Bremo, that I watched him melt down the same way. Yeah.
Like, of all fucking
Yeah,
people, you couldn't have Paige.
I don't even think she was in Saudi.
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, but anyone
Yeah.
but Brie Bella. Anyone but Brie Bella. Anyone would have been a much better spot in this thing than Brie
You
Bella.
did get a good reaction, but God, of all the people, of anyone you could have used literally any. Was there someone from NXT you couldn't have used? Like, did we really need Brie in this match? Now, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's only gonna work the Rumble and maybe work a tag match at WrestleMania. Because certainly with what they did there in this match, I think the Bellas eliminated Lyra and Bailey. I'm thinking they get a tag title match at Mania.
I didn't like them eliminating Lyra. I didn't like the Bells eliminating Lyra and Bailey had Brie eliminate Lyra and then Nikki eliminate Bailey. I didn't like that, but I could see the Bellas and a women's tag title match, multi-women women's tag title match at WrestleMania. I could probably see that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
this must be the only reason why Brie's back. Because I know she's wanted to team with her sister for a while.
I was shocked even she came in the Rumble because she's married to Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, who's with AEW. I was shocked that even happened. But
trust me, yeah, Bryan is his own man. He's not gonna force his wife to do yes or no. He's not the type of guy who's gonna force her to do something. And Brie's is her own person. She can do what she wants.
That's true. I will say one. I mean, I can't stand the Bellas. I just want them out of wrestling. But if there's at least one positive with this here, that means Nikki Bella is done with Stephanie Vecchia. Yeah. It looks like Nikki Bella's moving in the tag division.
Yeah, probably. I mean, honestly, that's her best role, really. You give her one last run with her sister, and they get to end their careers together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want them here. That we don't need them. The WWE's better off without the Bellas. But if the Bellas are gonna end their careers in WWE, at least Nikki Bella as a singles wrestler wasn't going anywhere. I don't know if it's gonna be any better with her in the tag team with Brie Bella, but I mean, at least Nikki Bella's away from Stephanie Vecchia in the women's world title picture. As one positive thing I will say about this.
Yeah.
So at least that, but we'll see where this goes with the Bellas. They could very well challenge for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
We did get number 30 come out, Tiffany Stratton. She's back for the first time since November 1st, where she lost the women's title to Jade Cargill on November 1st in Utah at Saturday night's main event. Wasn't seen since, and now she's back. And her presence was definitely missed, and her back is going to make SmackDown's women's division better with her back. And she was missed. I'm very happy she's back. And we both thought Bianca Belair would be one of the entrants in this women's Rumble. She wasn't even in this Rumble. Are they planning something big return for Bianca? Or are they saving it for after Mania? Or is the finger or hand injury that bad than we think it may be? Is it worse than we maybe not expect it to be.
Honestly, if you
Because she
ask me,
broke one or two
I think
fingers.
her injury is far worse.
Maybe it's her whole
If I
hand.
were to give an answer, I think her injury is way worse than that they expected and than Bianca expected, because
Maybe it's that bad they're not clearing her. I don't know.
yeah, I think because Bianca, I believe, she wasn't. I believe she didn't think she needed surgery. I think she said it herself. She didn't think it was that bad, and that to the point where she needed surgery. But then I think, and recently, was this recently in November or October? I don't know, but she recently got surgery, and I don't think we're gonna see her at least for a while. Like, do we even see her at WrestleMania? Because I am sure I have to.
They need her.
I have to be sure.
Bad. If she's good to go, they fucking need her.
Yeah, because surely the plan has to be Bianca and Jade for the women's championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and there's only the Elimination Chamber left.
It's in Chicago, and that should be a good show, and that should be a great crowd in Chicago.
Yeah, that's the only other place. This is the only other way you could book Bianca and Jade if Bianca went to the Chamber again. Yeah, but that's even if she's back, or is she even back in time for the Chamber?
I don't know.
Because if it's not Bianca, then who else is gonna face Jade? Like, are you gonna book Tiffany versus Jade again?
No one wants to see that.
Or do they? Or, and I don't know if they may go this, but what if do they book Charlotte versus Jade at WrestleMania, because they've been teasing it for a while, and you have Charlotte win the Chamber?
I don't know if Charlotte can really bring Jade to a good match, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Jordan
Grayson. It's
Grayson.
either one of three things. It's either one of three.
Jordan Grayson, Jade Cargill. I don't think so.
That's honestly, I would put it in the unlikely category. That's honestly, that's the only three options who could face Jade. It's Jordan, but I don't think it's going to be at WrestleMania. The only other matches that are realistic that they may go with instead are either Jade and Charlotte, because they haven't done it before and they've been teasing it for years, or they just do Tiffany and Jade again for the third time since SummerSlam. But I don't know if they're going to go with that, though.
I wouldn't.
Honestly, if I were to book it, I would book Jade and Charlotte. If Bianca's not cleared in time for the Chamber, I would book Jade and Charlotte.
I don't know, man.
Although I'm not sure if Charlotte and Alexa need the women's championship.
I don't think they do at all.
It probably doesn't.
Nah. But
then if you book that match, what does Alexa do at WrestleMania?
Exactly, yeah. But we did have the 19th woman eliminated, Kalani Jordan by JC Jane, and JCL's go back to NXT. Well, I mean, you're the women's champion, though, JC Jane, so.
Yeah.
And then we get JC Jane eliminated by Sol Ruka after Sol Ruka out of nowhere had a very nice Soul Snatcher on JC Jane. Then JC Jane is dumped out, eliminated by Sol Ruka. So that was a very nice Soul Snatcher from Sol Ruka. And then we get the Bellas trying to double suplex Lash Legend. Then Lash tries to double choke slam on the Bellas. But then we get the Bellas over the top rope, and we get both Bella twins eliminated by Lash Legend. So Nikki Bella's out by Lash Legend, and Brie Bella's out by Lash Legend. Both. And now Lash was booed for this because Brie Bella got so over with the Saudi crowd. Yeah. And Lash Legend got booed, and she got chants of overrated.
Come on,
overrated.
Come on now. I know she's a heel, but like she hasn't been on the main roster for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but we did then get Charlotte Flair, the 23rd, eliminated by Lash Legend. This was big that Charlotte was out by Lash. Charlotte didn't even last in the final 6 at least, and she was eliminated before that by Lash Legend. This was big.
Yeah, Lash Legend, I'll give her this though. Credit to where it's due. Lash Legend, she had a great performance.
She did. Match. I don't think I like her pairing with Nia Jax at all. I don't think she needs Nia, but I mean, I can see where the WWE's high on Lash and she has potential. I mean, I can see where they're high on her. I mean, she isn't there yet, but I can see them being high on her and giving her a chance. And she did do well for herself tonight. I'm hoping tonight is a start for Lash and she uses that momentum to her advantage. I really do.
Yeah.
Because she could be something if that is the case. And I don't know if I really have Lash paired with Nia. I honestly.
I think it's a
After
short
this-
one. I don't think it's going to be a
after her
longer one.
performance tonight, I'm not
I think the
sure.
reason they're pairing up Lash with Nia is because they want Nia to help elevate Lash Legend. That's more than that's honestly the reason why they want to get Lash getting her feet wet on the main roster.
Yeah.
So, but,
I mean,
but the
Lash
Rumble,
was-
that was a great performance. This was in many ways her breakout performance.
And
she
then
was made to look great. She was made to look like a threat in the match.
And then she eliminated Io Sky after she eliminated Charlotte as well. So she eliminated 5 people: Jordan Grace, both Nikki and Brie Bella, Charlotte Flair, and Io Sky.
Yeah.
5 big eliminations by five big eliminations by Lash. That's big. It's a big deal.
Yeah. And she was made to look like a monster. She looked like a monster in there. She eliminated 2 Hall of Famers and 2 other women that are definitely going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame when their careers are over, in Io and Charlotte.
Absolutely. And then speaking of
that was
Rhea,
impressive.
And then
this is how you make it. This is in one of these instances where a star is being made.
Yeah, that's how you make stars. That's how you do it, right there. Lash Legend and Soruka. I'd even say Kiana James, who had a decent performance here.
Yeah.
So we did that. Sorry, I can't talk today. We did then get Lash Legend, then next eliminated by Rhea Ripley, which was the right move because after eliminating Charlotte and Io, I think Lash has done more than enough to convince.
Yeah.
So
she did.
Lash was then the next.
Rhea, it was also
by
revenge
Rhea.
after
Lash has
eliminating.
nothing to lose.
Yeah, and after eliminating Io, you kind of figured that Rhea will want to get revenge for her, and get revenge against the one who eliminated her tag partner / best friend.
Yeah. So Rhea eliminates Lash. We then get Rhea eliminated by Raquel off the Tahana Bomb, which was also a big elimination, and another one I don't mind. And then right after Raquel eliminates Rhea, from behind, Liv Morgan eliminates Raquel with no hesitation, no looking back. And Liv Morgan eliminates her own Judgment Day mate, Raquel Rodriguez. Big sexy Raquel Rodriguez. Another big elimination here. And then it was down to the final 3. Soruka, Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan. And this was a very good final 3. Very good final 3. You have 3 athletic women, 3 athletic blondes, and they had a really good final 3 with these 3 ladies. You had Soruka, the 28th eliminated by Tiffany Stratton, and then Tiffany Stratton, the last one eliminated by Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan wins the Women's Royal Rumble. And this was our pick, and this was the right move. No one deserves it more than Liv Morgan. If Bianca wasn't going to be in this thing, there's no one other more deserving outside of Bianca than Liv Morgan. She's been the Rumble winner. She's been the Royal Rumble runner-up at least twice, was the MVP in the Rumble last year, and she's been in every Rumble since the inception of the Women's Rumble, and there's no one more deserving than her. And she's actually been very good since she's come back at Survivor Series last November in San Diego. She's been good ever since she's come back then. And she's one of the big stars, and
honestly,
and again, I've liked what she's done since she's been back, and Liv Morgan is liked too. I like Liv Morgan.
Yeah, this was earned. This was definitely deserved. She's been on the best run of her career. Honestly, I would say ever since she was doing the whole Liv Morgan revenge tour thing.
And her join the Judgment Day.
I think this is where she was becoming a top star, and aligning with Dom. I think this is where she came into her own or I think she was getting there already, but this is where she became a big star, one of the top premier women stars in that division and in the whole company.
She was joining the Judgment Day, and then she took Dom away from Rhea, and that was great.
Yeah, she was on a great run, obviously, and before the shoulder injury back in June, which disrupted plans for Evolution in the months leading up to it, and she's been able to pick up where she left off since being back at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
This was earned. And
absolutely.
This was earned, and this was a story. Again, the keyword here, story. This was a story for Liv Morgan heading into the match where, she was a runner up when she made it to the end, but she couldn't go to that finish line. She almost made it, but came up just short. 2023 and 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, she made it to the final two, but then lost to Rhea and Bayley. And the Elimination Chamber, 2024 and 2025, she was runner-up to Becky and Bianca. Yeah. And then the Women's Battle Royal, when Rhea vacated the championship, she made it to the final two in the Women's Battle Royal before finishing second and losing to Becky. So honestly, she almost makes it, but she couldn't get the job done. The time was now really for her to finish first. Absolutely. And what were they saying always? What was the quote? Bridesmaid, but never the bride.
Yes.
This was in a lot of ways Liv Morgan when it comes to the Women's Rumble, the Women's Chamber. But now she gets to be the bride. She gets to be the one that finishes first, to have a seat at that table. From runner-up, and I think I tweeted that out, from runner-up to number one.
Yeah.
That is Liv Morgan. And that's deserved. Yeah, if nobody deserved to win that Rumble match there. I mean, there were other candidates that could have won, like a Rhea, and an EO. But honestly, but they made the right move here. They went with the right winner. And that makes, and with Liv eliminating Raquel earlier in the match, that makes Raw now that much interesting. That makes Stephanie versus Raquel for the championship that much interesting.
It's Stephanie Vecchia versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Championship this Monday night on Raw, the Raw after the Rumble in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the former Wells Fargo Center. It's a Philadelphia street fight for the Women's World title this Monday on Raw in Philly. Stephanie versus Raquel for the championship. I don't think you'll call me crazy saying this. And after what we saw with Liv eliminating Raquel, call me nuts. I don't think you will. I'm actually giving Raquel the Women's World title this Monday. I don't think Stephanie Vecchia has done anything with it, honestly. And I mean, I wouldn't have her off the WrestleMania card. And if I don't know if she's that injured or is she good to go by Mania. I mean, what do you do with Stephanie if you don't have her as Women's World Champ going into Mania? But if you want to do what's right and not play it safe, and I know Triple H played it safe 2025, and if he doesn't want to play it safe here and take a risk, which I would appreciate, I'm actually giving Raquel the championship, even if it's for 2 months. Have Raquel beat Stephanie for the Women's World title this Monday on Raw, and you have Raquel versus Liv at WrestleMania for the Women's World title. Boom. There's a story there, and I would not mind that whatsoever. And and they've been teasing tensions in the Judgment Day anyway. It could be end of Judgment Day at WrestleMania. Balor versus Dominic for the Intercontinental title, with Balor going babyface. And he wasn't in the Rumble because he was told the Rumble was full, which I find ludicrous. But I mean, Balor, the way he attacked Punk and AJ this past Monday on Raw, we could get Balor and Punk in Chicago for the world title again in Chicago at the Chamber, and Punk could go over again. Then Dominic attacks Punk. And remember what Punk said to Balor this past Monday on Raw? You can't be world champion and still be in the Judgment Day. You're going to have to choose. So Punk beats Balor again in Chicago. Punk goes over Balor once again in Chicago at the Elimination Chamber on February 28th at the United Center, which I think they'll be in for the Chamber in February. Punk goes over once again. Dominic can attack Punk after the match, but Balor takes in the words of Punk, and he stops the attack on Punk and pulls Dominic off. Then Balor attacks Dom, setting up their IC title match at WrestleMania, which I would give Finn Balor the IC title, beating Dominic for the IC title at WrestleMania with Balor as the face, and have him come out as the Demon, have him beat Dominic for the IC title at WrestleMania, and then you could do Liv, Raquel, Women's World title at WrestleMania as well. Maybe include Roxanne Perez in there. Who knows? But I would give Raquel the championship Monday. Love Stephanie Vecchia, but she hasn't done much of anything with the championship. And this is no hate or disrespect to La Primera by any means. But I feel like the bigger story is Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne in the Judgment Day. And I would give Raquel the championship, even if it's for 2 months. That's okay. And Raquel has actually come a long way as well. So I don't know how you feel. Love Stephanie. No hate to Stephanie by any means. No hate to Vetcare by any means at all. But if I'm booking this thing, I'm giving Raquel Rodriguez the Women's World title this Monday on Raw. I'm crowning a new Women's World Champion this Monday on Raw in Philadelphia.
Honestly, that's honestly the direction that they really should. I mean, what do I think will happen? I kind of what I think they do instead is maybe have Stephanie retain and do Liv versus Stephanie at WrestleMania. But honestly, if it were up to me, I would book a Fatal 4-Way match. If they don't want to leave her off the card, I would book a Fatal 4-Way match with all 3 ladies of the Judgment Day and Stephanie Becker. Because Stephanie, she's been a part of this storyline for months now. They've been targeting her. And honestly, I agree with you. Honestly, I would do the same thing on Raw. I would give Raquel the championship if you want to shake things up. You want to make a buzz and bring intrigue to the division. You have Raquel, unexpectedly when no one expected you give her the women's championship, and you could still have Stephanie chase.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no issue. You could still have her chase and still be a part of the angle because she's been a part of it.
Yeah.
And you have Liv Morgan, she chooses Raquel when there's tension with the Judgment Day, because I think that we are heading to that implosion soon.
Yeah.
You have Liv Morgan, turn her back on Raquel, and making her intentions clear what she really wants. Maybe you have Roxanne, she's in the middle of all of this. She's conflicted.
Yeah.
But then obviously becomes too much. And then you book a Fatal 4-Way match with all 4 women. And I would give Liv Morgan the championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah. You have Roxanne in there, Liv, Raquel. You could have Stephanie and have her chase. It's probably better with Stephanie chasing, in my opinion. I know it feels like multi-person mania to get everyone on the card, multi-person mania just to get everyone on the card for the sake of it. But do you really want to leave Stephanie Becker off the card? And then Liv is one of your big stars. You're not leaving her off the card. Roxanne should be on the card too. Doesn't deserve to be off the card and should be on the card. Same thing with Raquel. So Fatal 4-Way for the Women's World title at WrestleMania perhaps is probably what they're going to do.
At least it makes sense. In that case, it makes sense because there's a reason for it to happen.
Yes.
Like
if you're going to have a multi-person match at Mania, I don't like too many of them, but if you're gonna have a multi-person match at Mania, at least if there's a story with it, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, for me personally, I would have Raquel win the championship. I think you said it too. You give Raquel the championship. Stephanie, she chases for months on end. You have Roxanne be in the middle between Raquel and Liv when tension gets worse, and Liv turns on the female Judgment Day. And then you book a Fatal 4-Way match with all 4 women, and you conclude that story at WrestleMania.
And Raquel have her going to Mania as the Women's World Champ, and Raquel has been dominating Stephanie. Has been dominant for a while, for months now, as Raquel, and has come a long way. And listening to advice that she has from Kevin Nash, I mean, Raquel Rodriguez, man, she's gotten better. She's come a long way, and I'm liking what she's doing, and she's getting good there. So
yeah, and you look at this Women's Rumble match as well. This was as well.
And she deserves the Women's Rumble
storylines, and you're building to Mania. This was in many ways, the story of Judgment Day because all 3 ladies worked together. Raquel, Roxanne, Liv, they all worked together the whole match.
Yeah,
and then before Roxanne got eliminated, and then Raquel made it to the Final 5
or 4 rather.
Yeah, Final 4. She eliminated Rhea, then. She didn't expect Liv to to eliminate her.
No.
Yeah, and then Liv can obviously say, "Well, it was every woman for themselves," and we're going to see that on Monday.
Now, did Raquel look dumb here? Yes, but it does tell the story here.
Yeah, she could tell the story that she didn't expect it. She did not expect to be eliminated by her own partner.
Now, if Raquel wins the championship Monday, I'm having Raquel win in dominant fashion. Have Stephanie written off for a while, maybe comes back before Mania to try and chase to reclaim the championship. And Raquel goes into Mania as this dominant champion.
Yeah. I mean, she has momentum right now. Honestly, out of all the, we like Stephanie, but her reign it's kind of underwhelming.
It is.
Honestly, I don't even think she was supposed to be champion right now.
When Naomi was champion, then she got pregnant.
Yeah, honestly, I think if Naomi was still competing right now, I think she would still be the champion right now. I think it would be Naomi heading into WrestleMania as the champion, with Stephanie maybe chasing.
I agree.
I think they gave Stephanie the championship because she was the other option that they could give, because they had Io and Rhea, their story with Asuka and Kairi. Bayley and Lyra are teaming, so Stephanie was like the one person they could give the belt to.
Yeah,
and then she spent months like feuding with Nikki Bella.
Yeah,
like please. Yeah, thank God they moved on from it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. So we like Stephanie. She's great, but her reign is, it's kind of underwhelming. Honestly, if anything, Raquel Rodriguez has more momentum than Stephanie. If I'm being honest, we're not hating, but that's my opinion. The Judgment Day, Roxanne, Liv, and Raquel. Especially Raquel, they have more momentum right now than Stephanie is right now.
Yeah.
So to give Raquel the championship, you've got to capitalize on it.
Yeah, you got some story and momentum there. Do it.
Yeah, but you could still,
there's
Stephanie
not much story going on in WWE right now. They need to do it.
Yeah, and you give Stephanie a reason to chase. You give her a story there where she can build momentum, and she still makes it to the WrestleMania card.
Exactly. So, listen, if I'm WWE, I'm belting Raquel Rodriguez this Monday on Raw. No ands, ifs, or buts. And I would not mind that whatsoever. And Stephanie's held the title since WrestlePalooza. It wouldn't hurt to take the belt off her Monday.
Yeah, I think she's gonna win the title again. I think she's gonna be a multi-time champion.
Raquel should win on Monday.
Yeah, I think Stephanie will be fine. She'll be a multi-time champion. It would not hurt her losing on Raw to Raquel and chase the title.
Just fuck the system up a little bit.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe maybe by SummerSlam, maybe Stephanie can win back the championship from Liv Morgan after she chased it for months on end.
And maybe around the time Naomi will be back and she reclaims what's hers.
Yeah,
you could very well do that. No, and I would not mind that whatsoever.
There's no problem shaking things up.
No. Look what they did with Drew McIntyre when he won the 3 Stages of Hell. That was great. Look what it did there.
Yeah.
So, hoping the same for Monday and Raw, man. It would actually make things a lot better. So
yeah, Liv Morgan, she won the Royal Rumble. We're extremely happy.
Yeah,
and she's come a long way since being in that first Women's Royal Rumble match, for being a part of the Riot Squad.
Yeah,
and then splitting from the Riot Squad, and to where she is now. Yeah, it's been an incredible journey to see.
Absolutely, man. The first half of this Rumble for the women was not good. The second half picked up. The second half was better, and honestly, in my opinion, saved this match. Like the first half was like, my God, like this is boring. The second half really picked up. Like, I feel like another complaint I gotta say, their big heavy hitters came later in the match instead of spreading it out, which they should have done. Having the lesser heavy guns in the beginning and the heavier ones and later on. It's better to spread it out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah, it would have been a much better match if they spread out their big names.
Yeah, they gotta work on that. That's one of the things they gotta work on. So
yeah, but you had Sol Ruka, she made it to the final 3. You had Kiana James having a good performance, Lash Legend. He made to look like a star with 5 eliminations. The story of the Judgment Day.
Yep.
I think there was positives in that match.
Yeah.
And I think we know the directions, in a way, for WrestleMania. Maybe Charlotte and Alexa. You have
Probably.
Liv challenging out for the championship.
Probably.
Yeah. Do you have a women's tag team title match at WrestleMania? You involve Lasha, Nia, Bailey, Lyra, and the Bellas.
Mm-hmm.
And Julia and Kiana James. I would give them the tag team titles, and then the other women's title or non-women's title match, rather in this case, would be Rhea versus Io, and you give Rhea her first win over Io Sky. So in terms of setting up stories and matches for WrestleMania during the Rumble, I think WWE did a good job. And as well as showcasing, new stars, obviously, with Soul, Lash, and Kiana, they did a good job at that too.
Yeah, but Liv wins the Rumble. This is the right call. I think she challenges for the women's world title. I don't think she challenges for the women's title. I think she stays on Raw.
Yeah, she'll stay.
It makes sense. It doesn't make any sense for her to go to SmackDown and challenge for the women's title because there's no story with Liv and Jade whatsoever. No one, and I don't think anyone. And Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill, is that really a WrestleMania match?
No.
I would agree with you 100% on that take, bro.
Like, what's the reason for them to fight apart from Liv Morgan being the Rumble winner?
And they're both heels too. Who do you cheer for? It's another thing.
Yeah, at least with Stephanie, you know who to cheer for. If you go with the 4-way option that we pitched here, at least you have a babyface in Stephanie you can cheer for, and you have the Judgment Day who are heels.
Yeah.
With Liv and Jade, who do you cheer for?
Yeah. Yeah, but Liv Morgan wins. This was the right call. We then get AJ Styles and Gunther. This is it for AJ Styles, man. And speaking of whom, Joe from Hot Takes and Headlocks. What's up, Joe? Can we talk about the finish for Gunther and AJ? Why did the ref just nudge AJ's wrist instead of raising it to see if it drops? It's a very good question, but this was a damn good match, though, nonetheless, with AJ and Gunther.
Yeah.
What a career it's been for AJ, man, I'll tell you. 10 years, but I would have loved to see him retire properly at WrestleMania on American soil. Maybe he wants to maybe he wants to go to TNA, finish there like he did today in WWE. I don't know if he goes to AEW, goes on his own world tour on the Indies. I don't know. He's retiring at the end of the year. I mean, Triple H said he's on the Legends deal, not wrestling anymore. I don't know, but if this was it for AJ tonight, what a way to go out. Went out with his best.
Yeah.
A great match with Gunther. This was great. I don't know how you feel. I want to give you the floor first on this match.
No, I thought it was good. I thought this was they told a good story in there. With Gunther, he's the career killer now. This is now 3 careers he has ended in the last 6 months. He ended the careers of Goldberg. He ended the career of John Cena, and he ended the career of AJ Styles. And every single one of those matches he won with the sleeper hold. And AJ, he was the resilient veteran. He's fighting with everything he had. He fought until the end. But Gunther, he blocked the sleeper hold multiple times. And and with the finish, he's hitting the elbow several times on AJ Styles. Because he just wouldn't stay down. And with this match, I will say this: they made Gunther look like the threat there, because there were portions of the match where he was very dominant, and very in control of the match, and AJ had to fight for behind. This was a great story that they told. You had the big monster heel Gunther. They had the resilient, veteran in AJ Styles, fighting for his career. Yeah, this was a good match. This was really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, and Gunther won by making AJ pass out here.
Yeah.
He fought what he could in the sleeper, thought he had life, and then he was close to getting a rope break on the bottom rope. Then ref. I think it was the ref who used to ref TNA for AJ Styles in his time in TNA. And AJ was out with the sleeper. He did get AJ doing a power bomb during this match, which was nice. Some nice spots, just like the Women's Rumble. Nice spots here. We got AJ hitting a Styles Clash and a kick out. Gunther with the with that power bomb stuff and all, chop and power bomb, but AJ kicks out as well. This was a great match. And if this was it for AJ, what a way he went out the way he wanted to. If this is what he wanted, if this was, now I would have loved to see AJ retire properly at WrestleMania on American soil, but if this was AJ's decision and it was his choice, then I respect that. And what a way he went out, man. If this was it for AJ, I didn't want to believe it because John Cena just retired, but I mean, AJ Styles can still go for almost 50 years old, but he says he doesn't. He says he feels like his body, but he says, listening to his body, he feels like he's done. He can't do it anymore. He doesn't want to get to a point where he's overstaying his welcome and he's embarrassing himself. I get it, but he could still go for his age, in my opinion. But if he wants to retire by 50, then that's his choice. I'm not gonna dictate what he can and can't do. But I would have properly had him. But I would have had him retire properly against Gunther at WrestleMania. But they did it here. I don't know what you do with Gunther now at Mania, especially with the tease with Lesnar and open the Men's Rumble. But if this is AJ's last match in the Rumble, last match in WWE, man, he went out really, really good. He went out with a war with Gunther.
Yeah, well, if you notice though, after the match though, he took his gloves off.
Yeah,
but then he put them back on.
Yep.
I think with the way that he did that, I think it's his last WWE match. I don't think though it's his last wrestling match. Now I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, we have to hear it from the man himself if this is really his last ever match in general and he never wrestles again. But from the way he went about it, I think it was his last WWE match. But I don't think it's his last match in general. I think he goes on a world tour. I think if he's going to go through the entire year, I think we see a world tour from AJ Styles. He wrestles in multiple different promotions. We could
see him in AEW, maybe wrestle at Wembley for maybe an AEW for a few months, then go to TNA, maybe wrestle New Japan for a few months, and then ultimately end in TNA. And he did tease something with Frankie Kazarian on the first TNA on AMC, if you remember. Maybe work with Mike.
I think we're going to see him in a match in TNA. I think we're going to see him have a few matches there.
Maybe he wanted to work with TNA, but he couldn't. NXT and the TNA partnership, that works, but because main roster, I don't know if they allow main roster talent to work TNA, but maybe he wanted to, and the main roster wouldn't allow him.
It's AJ Styles. He's Mr. TNA. It's AJ Styles. He's Mr. TNA. I'm sure Paul Levesque and Nick Khan will allow him to work in the place where he pretty much first became a star.
I don't know.
In terms of signing a contract, no, I think
it just feels very sudden that he retired now.
Yeah. Maybe he wanted to end his WWE career in the Rumble. Maybe that was his choice.
I don't know.
Because if you've seen the post that Nakamura posted on his IG story before he took it down, he pretty much kind of spoiled the outcome. So maybe they knew that this was going to be AJ's last WWE match. I do think that we see him back, but in a backstage capacity, because AJ, he has stated it several times. He wants to work backstage in WWE. He wants to be a talent scout for the company.
So I do think we will see him again. I'm just thinking now. Actually, I actually just thought of this just now, bro. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Now, Ava, The Rock's daughter, is no longer in WWE. This past Tuesday in NXT was her last WWE appearance. Apparently, her contract's up soon. She decided not to renew her contract, and she's gone from the company. No longer the NXT GM either. So the NXT GM position is vacant. I'd love to see William Regal back in that GM role in NXT. He should have never left that position in the first place. Maybe Paige is in that position. Or I'm thinking this. I didn't even think of this and just told this moments ago. And with the TNA and NXT partnership, what if AJ Styles is the NXT general manager?
I think that would be great.
And I think you can integrate AJ with TNA. Maybe we get AJ Styles wrestling a Mike Santana, say like at Slammiversary or Bound for Glory, and AJ Styles could retire in TNA.
Yeah, I think he will
Something like
retire
that.
in TNA. I think he will retire in TNA. I think though there's a I think Triple H himself said that there are people that AJ said to him that he wanted to work with. There were other people he wanted to work with. I don't know though if this was WWE, because if he knew he was gonna leave the company, well, at least as a wrestler, I think he will return backstage. But as a wrestler, if he wants to wrestle more, maybe he wrestles outside of the WWE before he comes back. I think we see him on a world tour. I don't think he's gonna sign another contract with a promotion, because I think he stated himself this is his last wrestling contract. I think he will go all over the world, all over different promotions, including TNA. Do I see him in AEW? It's possible. I don't think he will sign with them. Do I see him working Wembley Stadium, working All In? I could see it. For a one-off match, I could see it. I will say if he does, I don't think he's gonna sign a contract there. But if he does have one match in AEW, I think his one and only AEW match, or one of several, it has to be at All In. He has to work Wembley Stadium, and there's and the two opponents that he should face are either Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
That's if he wants to wrestle in AEW but not sign a contract. He works Wembley, he works either Omega or Ospreay, and that's it. And then he could go to TNA and he ends his career in TNA. And I think where do I think his last match? Well, again, we don't know if this is his last match ever or his last WWE match in general, but not retiring until the end of the year. That we have to hear it from the man himself. But if he does continue to wrestle, where do I think his last match ever would be? I think it's going to be at TNA, and I think his last match ever would be at Bound for Glory later the year in October. And then he returns to WWE by the end of the year. He signs a new deal with WWE, but as a producer. He works backstage, he becomes a talent scout, maybe a coach.
Yeah.
But I do think we see AJ Styles back in WWE, just not as a wrestler. Like I do see him wrestling in New Japan. Maybe he can wrestle one more match there.
Yeah.
He could wrestle a few matches in AEW, I guess, and work All In. There's an Omega, there's Will Ospreay, there's MJF. There's a guy. Maybe he can do AJ versus Samoa Joe again one last time if AJ wants to wrestle him. And if he comes back from his concussion, if he wrestles again, maybe he can do AJ Styles versus Adam Cole again.
Yeah.
Or because there are guys, I'm sure these are guys that AJ may want to work with again, because he hasn't worked with them in years. But I don't think he signs with AEW, but maybe he can have a few matches there. And I could see him working All In Wembley. But I think he ends his career in TNA when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
I could see him work all of the promotions. He already worked WWE this year. I could see him working New Japan, work a few matches, work AEW, work a few matches. But I think he ends his career in TNA. I think his last match ever would be at Bound for Glory. And then before he returns to WWE eventually, but in a backstage role.
Could you see AJ Styles also inducted into next year's 2027 WWE Hall of Fame?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's a first ballot WWE Hall of Famer. And I think we do see him as well inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets inducted this year. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets inducted this year. If they want a headline inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame for 2026, I think AJ Styles should be at the top of the list.
Absolutely.
Because he did state that he doesn't want to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame while as an in-ring performer still. He wants to be inducted when he's retired, when he's done, when he never wrestles again. I think this year is the perfect time to induct him. Either this year or next year. But I think 2026 is going to be the year where AJ is inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, and 2027 he gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, I think TNA Hall of Fame, he gets inducted in this AJ Styles this year, and then next year's Mania, I think he gets inducted. Next year's Hall of Fame, he gets inducted in 2027, going into WrestleMania for 43 in Saudi next year.
Yeah.
Retired in Saudi, gets inducted in Saudi.
Yeah.
You can see that. We then get the WWE Championship match.
Before I say that, has AJ Styles worked Arena Mexico?
No, I don't think he has either.
Yeah. I think he wrestled at Madison Square Garden and the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
If he's gonna wrestle all over the world, I could see at least one AJ Styles match in Arena Mexico. Because I think there is a list of people. Because there's a list of people. I don't know if you've seen a list. There's a list of wrestlers who have worked. Obviously, they worked Madison Square Garden, the Tokyo Dome, Arena Mexico, and Madison and Wembley Stadium. And I think several of that people who have worked all four are John Tenta, former Earthquake, God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
There's John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Claudio, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, and ironically enough, Will Ospreay. Yeah. I believe Ricochet as well has worked all four. Maybe that's something AJ Styles wants to do. You never know. Maybe this is something he wants to check off his bucket list. It's something that he has never done and he wants to check it out. Maybe he works Arena Mexico and Wembley Stadium this year. And he can join this group of people that have worked all four famous venues, famous arenas for wrestling. You know, Madison Square Garden, Wembley, Arena Mexico, and the Tokyo Dome. Maybe he wants to be a part of that list. But ultimately, I think he retires in TNA. And I don't think he's going to sign a contract with any promotion. I do see him back in WWE ultimately.
Yeah.
But maybe that's something he wants to do. Maybe he wants to check off some bucket lists before he returns to WWE. Eventually. Yeah, but this was a great run for AJ. 10 years with WWE. He was the TNA guy because for so many years, for the better part of a decade, he was one of the best wrestlers that wasn't contracted to a WWE. He was the face of TNA. He carried them on his back. Then he went to New Japan and he became the leader of Bullet Club. He was a 2-time IWGP champion. He worked with Okada, Nakamura, and Tanahashi, these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And this is poetic as well, the way with the Royal Rumble this year. It's poetic. His WWE debut, and he did wrestle for them before, 2002, he episode of Jacked against the Hurricane, I believe. But he made his official debut as a WWE superstar. His official debut was the Royal Rumble in 2016. 10 years later, his WWE career ends at the Royal Rumble. 10 years later, in 2026. And quite frankly, his run, just like his nickname, was phenomenal. Multi-time WWE champion, multi-time US champion, IC champion. He main evented WrestleMania against The Undertaker. He was The Undertaker's last opponent.
Yep.
This was a phenomenal career he had. Whatever he does next. Yeah, whatever he does next, I wish him the absolute best.
And thank you, AJ Styles, for a great 10 years with you in WWE.
Yeah.
Thank you, AJ Styles.
You're a legend of the industry.
And a future Hall of Famer, no questions asked. So then moving on to the WWE Championship match, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Now, this felt more like Drew dominating Sami more than anything. We did get Drew retaining with two Claymores, second for great measure, and Drew retained. He wasn't going to lose here, but Sami will be a world champion. I could see next year's Mania Sami being world champion, just not right now.
Yeah, this is honestly what it felt like.
There wasn't much story going into this. Sami just won a fatal four-way. This wasn't much going into it.
Yeah, this was pretty much them. They wanted to give something for Drew. They wanted to give him his first.
Like Sami will be a world champion, but you got to give more of a story with that, and then just a few.
Yeah, they wanted to give something for Drew, give him his first title defense, and Sami is very popular in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly what it felt like. It was just. You know what I think of? It was basically the cool down match They needed something, to because after the Gunther AJ match and the emotional ending to AJ Styles' WWE career, they needed something, to quiet down the fans before they react again for the men's Rumble match.
Yeah.
This was a good match. I know, don't get me wrong, this was a good match, but it wasn't their best match. It was basically, it honestly felt more something to give for Drew because they needed him to be on the card and give him successful title defense.
Yeah. And Sammy didn't get much reaction here, which I was shocked.
Honestly, I think the crowd was deflated after the AJ loss because he did the emotional walk. He walked out. He said goodbye. I think they were deflated. It kind of hurt the match.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
but Drew McIntyre wins as he should. He's going to go to WrestleMania as a WWE champion, or does he lose the title to Chamber? Especially what happened in the men's Rumble.
I think he goes to Mania as the champion.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I would hope.
There's honestly not much to talk about, honestly, with this match. It just kind of felt filler.
It felt like underwhelming.
And nobody expected Drew to lose, especially after he won the championship just recently. I don't think anybody expected him to lose. It was predictable.
Yeah. But then we got the men's Royal Rumble to talk about. Number 1, Oba Femi. An NXT call-up, not associated with Raw or SmackDown yet. And Oba Femi's number fucking 1.
This was a surprise. Honestly, I was surprised that they had him enter the Rumble from the very beginning. I actually thought they would wait until at least maybe number 15, for instance.
And he got a good reaction in Saudi.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the most over guys in that match. When that opening theme music hit and the fans chanting, "Whoo!" and Oba.
This is one of the very few Def Rebel songs that actually is not bad.
Yeah.
One of the very few.
He looked like a superstar out there. From the entrance and the crowd reacting, he looked like a star.
And he's going to be a big...
And he was dominant in that match as well. We talked about Lash Legend and how you make a star. This was a star-making performance as well for him immediately on the main roster.
He eliminated 5 people in this match, bro.
Yeah, he looked incredibly strong. They made him look like a threat out there. They made him out there to look like a star.
They did. This is how you make a star right here. And he's going to be one of the future pieces for years and years to come, I'm telling you. And he's going to do very well for himself. He's going to make a major splash on Raw or SmackDown, whichever brand gets him. So then we get number 2, Braun Breaker. And before this match, it was said that Braun Breaker was entering the Rumble tonight at number 2. Now, you watched SmackDown last night when Nathan Frazier and Axiom, during the Axiom and Johnny Gargano match, before that match happened, with Fraxium making their entrance last night on SmackDown. Someone in production, I'm sure, is fired. They put a bottom graphic, Braun Breaker number 1 in this year's men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Someone in production, I'm sure, was already fired after that. I'm sure.
Yeah, because they spoiled what number Braun Breaker will be entering in the Royal Rumble match.
Man, what the fuck was that,
I would love to put a fly on the wall to see Triple H's reaction.
Dude, what the fuck was that, man? But Braun Breaker was number 2, though. But then before the match even began, before the bell even rang, before Braun could even get in the ring, this masked man comes out, curb stomps Braun, throws him in the ring, the bell rings, throws him in the ring, the bell rings. Then Oba eliminates Braun in seconds like that, after Braun got pretty much screwed. Now, I don't know, they didn't even follow up with the rest with the masked man here. I don't know what they're doing here. Do you think Braun Breaker's buried at all? I don't know if it feels like a burial to me. Like how, I don't know, like we didn't even get Braun and Oba in this thing to start off the match, and this masked man, I don't know, I don't know how you feel about this masked man stuff. It feels so simple, but I don't know who this masked person could be. He did fuck over Braun Breaker, and I do think Seth Rollins is back before WrestleMania. I think we get Seth versus Braun at WrestleMania. I do. with no title
Yeah, I don't
involved.
think
I don't think it needs a title, and it makes sense for Seth versus Braun at WrestleMania. It makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it was a burial. I mean, I do wish that we got that stare down with Oba and Braun in the match.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was like a burial. I think what this tells me, I think it was Rollins. I don't know if it was him under the mask or somebody. It was somebody who did it. Somebody else who did the curb stomp, but then eventually it will be revealed as Seth Rollins. But I do think Seth is back right before WrestleMania, because why would they do this angle? It was odd, but I don't think they would do this if they didn't think Rollins would be back in time for WrestleMania.
I agree.
Because you got to remember as well, Braun Breaker, he was the reason, the Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, they were the reason why Seth Rollins had to vacate the World Heavyweight Championship in storyline, and they kicked him out of the Division. Braun has been, he's been chasing the World Championship for months. He almost won it at the first Raw of 2026. So this is Seth Rollins' way of getting back at Braun Breaker. Be preventing him from winning the Royal Rumble and get another shot at the World Championship.
Yeah,
I do think we see. I think Rollins will be back in time for WrestleMania. Maybe we see him at the Elimination Chamber.
probably.
Maybe he makes his return. Maybe he makes his return at the Chamber, and he reveals himself as the Masked Man who calls Braun Breaker the Rumble, and maybe he costs him the Chamber as well. Yeah, I don't think the storyline needs a title, because they've been building this Vision storyline for a year now. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate it's not going to be for the World Championship, because I do believe the plan was for Seth to go into Mania in Vegas as the World Champion, and Braun Breaker would have faced him.
Yeah,
but honestly, they can still do that match, but not for the title.
I think now the World Title match for Mania, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think so.
You do Punk and Roman. Roman doesn't need to win the championship. Punk can win over Roman. And then going into Backlash this May 9th in Tampa, he can have Seth versus Punk. Seth tries to reclaim what he never lost. You could add Braun Breaker in there, and you could crown Braun Breaker there in Tampa.
Yeah, you can do that.
Something along those lines. So, there's that. We got Solo Sikoa number 3, Rey Mysterio number 4, Rusev number 5. He's back since the John Cena tournament. Boy, he lost to Yeet Man. We'll talk about him. And then Rusev's the second one out by Oba Femi. Solo Sikoa out by Oba Femi next. Rey Mysterio by Oba Femi. Then we get number 6, Matt Cardona. His first Rumble since 20. When was his last Rumble? 15. Thank you.
His last Royal Rumble match was 2015, and he was eliminated by Bray Wyatt.
God rest his soul. Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. And Matt Cardona is out shortly by Oba Femi. So Oba Femi has so far gotten 5 eliminations.
Yeah, this was dominant.
I don't know if I really liked what Matt Cardona could have been there longer, but I mean, but building up Oba Femi, I understand what they're doing.
Yeah, I can understand with Oba. I think though with Rusev, it's kind of odd. And honestly, this is a similar problem with the women's Royal Rumble, where there were so many people in that match that were eliminated so quickly.
There were some people that were eliminated quickly. Some I didn't like.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that should have been there longer than they were. I think Rusev is one of them. How long was he there? 20 seconds?
Yeah, he wasn't even there that long.
Yeah, I think he should have been in there that long. And honestly, it goes back to our statement. Honestly, they just WWE Triple H, they just wanted to get the hell out of there immediately. They only put on a show because they were contractually obligated to. I mean, they're professionals. I'll give it to them. They're professionals.
They got their Saudi money, but
yeah. I mean, they're professionals. I mean, they're gonna put on the show as scheduled. But it's you can tell, it kind of felt like they were going through the motions. They just wanted to get the hell out of there as quickly as they got in.
This would have been much better off had the Rumble been in somewhere in the United States or in the United Kingdom. Would have been much better off.
Yeah.
This is why I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They please don't do the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia ever again. If what we got here, if this was what we saw here, I don't think the Rumble should have been in Saudi this year, and I hope they don't go back to Saudi for the Rumble again. I think the Rumble in Saudi was a mistake.
Yeah. Then
honestly.
again, is anybody gonna turn down a big money offer? I mean, I wouldn't turn down a big money offer if you were offered $200 million to put on one show. Would you turn that down?
No, but if it's like TKO doesn't really give a fuck. They don't.
Yeah.
You know, but we did get number 7, Damian Priest. Then number 8, Javon Evans. He also had a very good showing in here, just like Obafemi. Number 9 from AAA, Mr. Iguana. So he was in this thing with the puppet and all. We then got Trick Williams, number 10.
Yeah, he got a big reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
and we got Trick. Oba, Javon, and Trick. The main event from Stand and Deliver last year in this Rumble. The future. And yeah, I hear people, oh, Triple H is a racist. You can't create new stars. Or he doesn't create new stars. He doesn't know how to. Or he's a racist. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. You got Obafemi, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams in here in the same ring at the same time. And you're telling me Triple H is a fucking racist. Yeah, right. When you have Oba, Javon, and Trick in there, I love you to tell me again that Triple H is a racist. Let me tell you something. How is he a racist when he's got Oba, Javon, and Trick in here? And all those three men had a very good performance. Well, Trick was decent, but Oba and Javon had a very good performance in this thing.
Yeah, Obafemi. Honestly, if I were to call someone an MVP in the Men's Rumble, I think Obafemi was the MVP of the Men's Royal Rumble match, with the way he was booked and the way he looked like a star.
Yeah. We then got Trick Williams eliminating Mr. Iguana, and then he threw the puppet over the top rope and at Mr. Iguana. So
yeah,
we got that.
The puppet didn't whoop that trick.
No. We then got Cody Rhodes, number 11. He got a big pop. He got fans singing his theme. He got a big pop. And pyro go off and everything. We then had El Grande Americano, the Kaiser Americano.
Gracias.
He was in this. He was number 12. Number 13 was the original El Grande Americano. Gracias, or Chad Gable. But it wasn't Chad Gable shown. But it is definitely Chad Gable.
It's obvious who it is.
With the physique and the pecs and the German
yeah, it's obvious who this is.
Yeah.
So Chad Gable, his first appearance back since June. I believe his last match was Money in the Bank last year. The one where Seth Rollins won.
Yeah. When he was the original Grande Americano, but then he got hurt.
Yeah. So we got El Grande 1.0 and El Grande 2.0.
Well, Chad Gable. So it looks like Chad Gable will be back this Monday in Philadelphia. Don't be surprised if we get that, and I think he will.
Honestly, I think one of the things that they did good there in this match, and I think I explained it as well with the women's story. Yeah, another thing they did good with this Rumble match as well. Yeah, exactly. Telling story and building a match for WrestleMania. You see the direction that they're heading in and what the matches will be for WrestleMania. Yeah, I think one of the matches for Mania is Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser.
I agree.
Yeah, El Grande Americano gets El Grande Americano.
Now, do we get Americano versus Americano, or do we get Chad Gable versus El Grande Americano? Is what I'd love to know. Now, I will say this. I know it's corny, but do we get Americano versus Americano and the loser has to unmask, or Gable versus Kaiser Americano, and if Gable loses, he shaves his head bald, or if Americano Kaiser loses, instead of Gable losing, then the Kaiser Americano has to unmask, as well as Bravo and Rayo Americano? Or do we get all three Los Americanos, Rayo, Bravo, and Kaiser Americano versus Chad Gable and the Creeds American Made at WrestleMania?
If I were to book this, I would book Gable versus Kaiser Americano. Because before this, prior to Gable's injury, they were telling the story of Chad Gable. He's saying that I'm not El Grande Americano. I'm not El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano is a completely different person, even though it's obvious who's underneath the mask.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that had Gable not got hurt, I think this character would have ended a long time ago. Because
I
this is what
wasn't it supposed to be Penta versus Chad Gable El Grande Americano at SummerSlam in MetLife last August, and then Penta was going to win, and Gable was going to unmask the Americano
I
stuff
think this
and
is the
end
direction they were heading for. I think this is what
and
they were building.
El Grande stuff.
Yeah, this is what they were building to Penta and Chad Gable at SummerSlam, and Gable would have been revealed as El Grande, but then Gable got hurt, and then they gave it to Kaiser because they didn't want to take the El Grande character off TV.
Yeah.
I think now it's gonna be the time to end the El Grande character, and you end it at WrestleMania. In kind of way, El Grande, he debuted before WrestleMania, but the character kind of started at WrestleMania with Chad Gable. I think you ended at WrestleMania with Chad Gable. I think you book a segment. Here's what I think: you book a segment on Raw, maybe February, where the Americanos, Rayo, Bravo, and Kaiser Americano, they unmask Gable. They reveal that Chad Gable was the original El Grande Americano. Gable can admit then that he was indeed the original El Grande for months before he was injured. And then you book Gable versus Americano, hair versus mask at WrestleMania. And then when Gable wins, El Grande unmasks, and it's revealed to be Ludwig Kaiser.
Where Gable is unmasked, but then he unmasks. It's kind of like, if it makes sense, where he gets unmasked, but then he unmasks Kaiser Americano. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you could do Chad Gable at WrestleMania versus Kaiser Americano, where if Gable loses, he gets his head shaved. But if Kaiser Americano loses, he and Bravo and Rayo Americano all have to unmask.
Yeah.
And it's revealed as Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, and Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
There's a story there, so. And Chad Gable was very good in the original El Grande Americano role, and Chad Gable is so damn good. And it'll be great to see him back. And his presence has been sorely missed.
Yeah.
And it has.
Yeah, it's great seeing him back.
And I saw, and yeah, he was jacked. Man, how jacked is he? Looking at him in the Rumble, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Those pecs, man. If Vince was still in charge, he'd have a fucking hard on, man. I want Chad Gable's a world champion, pal. God damn it.
Yeah. The way he was doing those German suplexes.
Yeah.
He never missed the beat.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Chad. Don't be surprised if we see Chad Gable this Monday on Raw, soon this Monday Raw in Philly, and we should.
Yeah.
And they should. Hopefully we see Gable this Monday on Raw in Philly, and he's been missed. So we'll see what happens, but happy to see Chad Gable, at least the original or somewhat of Gable back. I'm glad somebody's back. But we did get Gable, the original Americano, eliminating Kaiser Americano, and then Gable Americano then got eliminated by Trick Williams as well here.
Yeah.
And then we got Trick Williams, then the 9th person eliminated by Cody Rhodes. And then number 14, man, they showed a Tron of Powerhouse Hobbs, then changed to Royce Keys, the former Powerhouse Will Hobbs from AEW in the Royal Rumble, number 14. And he got a nice pop. And he had a decent performance in this Rumble, man. And very happy for Will Hobbs. Welcome to WWE Royce Keys, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the way he was presented as well, he was presented good. Like, they gave him pyro in his entrance.
Yeah.
Who gets pyro?
I don't know.
I think it was him and Cody.
Much of his music. I have to listen to it again, but
yeah. I think it was him, Cody, and Roman who got pyros when they made their entrance in the Rumble.
Yeah. But Royce Keys, man.
Yeah. They did acknowledge Powerhouse Hobbs, his Michael Cole, the man who used to be known as Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah. Because I think Hobbs, he owns his name. I think he trademarked it years ago. So he owns it, and they are allowed to mention it on TV. So this was a nice acknowledgement that of who he was, where he used to work. Obviously, they didn't mention AEW by name, but you can tell, they made a reference to where he was before he was in WWE. And he did look like a star. I know I've said it a few times before, but this is the thing with the Rumble matches. He looked like a big deal out there. the way he was presented, the entrance, he got a great reaction.
Yeah.
And he got to share there in the ring with Cody. He got to share in the ring with Oba and the Vision. And I think he got one elimination in the match. He eliminated Damian Priest, former world champion.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you ask me as well, I think it demonstrates the fact that he bypassed NXT too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
would have him
bypassed
on NXT, but if he's on the main roster, man, I'd put him on SmackDown, man. Put him with Trick Williams.
The fact that he was just recently on Dynamite, Collision, AEW pay-per-views. That's what he was doing before. So the fact that he went from AEW to immediately going to the main roster, I think it's a big deal. I think it shows that they are very high on Powerhouse Hobbs. Because if you recall, the report, I think it was reported by Meltzer in the Observer before his deal came out on midnight when he lost the trios titles to Hangman and Jet Speed. That there was this report that WWE were very high on Powerhouse Hobbs, and they should really just look at the guy. He's a great wrestler. Honestly, I think going from AEW to getting a Rumble match and being put straight on the main roster, I think it shows that they are absolutely high on Powerhouse Hobbs. They do see him as a star.
Yes. I agree with that 100%, man, and he's going to do pretty well for himself in WWE. He had a decent performance during the Rumble, got a nice pop. He's going to fucking kill it in WWE. I'm telling you right now. He could have easily stayed with AEW, choose the very big money offer, but Hobbs is not a guy who's just there for the money, and money really isn't everything. And yes, it's lesser pay in WWE, but Hobbs is deciding to bet on himself, and I fucking respect that man for that. And there's no doubt in my mind he's going to do very, very well for himself in WWE. And I'm sure he's always wanted to be there, too. But he's gonna kill it. I'm excited to see where. I'm excited to see what's next for Will Hobbs now that he's finally in WWE, and I'm excited to see where they go with him and where he ends up and what they do.
If you ask me, I think he has a match at WrestleMania this year.
So I'm very interested to see what he does.
Yeah, honestly, I think he has a match at WrestleMania this year. If you're debuting him this quickly on the main roster, no NXT run, even for a few months, if you're debuting him this quick on the main roster, you're having him at the Royal Rumble, I think he has a match at WrestleMania.
Probably. Now,
I mean, we talked about Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes in the U.S. Title thing. Maybe he could put Will Hobbs in a U.S. title match at WrestleMania.
Maybe, or maybe have him be the muscle for Trick Williams with the U.S. title at WrestleMania. I don't know. I'd love something like that in my personal preference opinion. Or I'm just thinking this. I don't know how likely it would be. I don't know if it would be a good idea or if it would be a good thing. Cody Rhodes last night on SmackDown in Saudi teased the heel turn. What if we get Cody, Fatu, and Drew, and what they set up, how Cody got eliminated and how Fatu didn't like what happened, how Cody got eliminated in this Rumble here? I think we could get Fatu, Cody, and Drew in a triple threat at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. I don't think Cody and Drew is the match, and I don't want to see that. And you got to have Fatu should be in this thing. I'd say Fatu wins the chamber and Cody politics to get in the match. What if we get Cody winning this triple threat at WrestleMania for the title against Drew and Fatu, and Cody goes heel, but he forms how Randy Orton in 2009 formed the legacy with Ted DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes? Maybe Cody could form his own legacy in WWE with Cody as the role of a leader, Randy Orton, and then as a DiBiase Jr. and Rhodes, you have Ricky Saints called up from NXT, and then Powerhouse Hobbs.
You can do that.
And Hobbs, Ricky, and Cody all have history from AEW, and maybe you could call the group not the Legacy, but like the Nightmare Factory, maybe something like that.
Maybe as a reference to you name them a group that is a reference to their AEW period.
Then maybe like the Nightmare Club or the Nightmare Factory.
Maybe.
When you have Hobbs and Ricky paired with Cody Rhodes.
You can do that.
I'd love to see that and have Cody win the title at Mania, go heel because of Hobbs or Royce Keys and Ricky Saints.
You can do that.
And there's a story there. Cody is a top heel on SmackDown as a WWE champion, aligned, and he's with Ricky Saints and Royce Keys.
That could be interesting. I mean, if they want to turn Cody heel, that could be an interesting.
You have a Nightmare AEW like alumni Nightmare Collective Factory group faction running roughshod on SmackDown with Cody leading. You have Royce Keys in there, get Ricky Saints, maybe get someone like Ethan Page or Lexis King in there. You could have fun with that. I don't know if it would ever happen, but it's something just to throw out there. I think it would be fun.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, with Royce Keys, he's gonna do big things in this company. I mean, he got a nice reaction in the Rumble. I mean, for a guy who was, for a guy who has never been to Saudi Arabia before, I believe at least, for a guy who has never wrestled in Saudi before, he did get a nice reaction. He eliminated a former world champion in Damian Priest, and he had a decent showing. He's gonna do great things.
Absolutely,
he's gonna kill. I'm putting him on Smack. If Oba goes to Raw, I'm putting Hobbs on Smack.
Yeah, I would not have Royce Keys and Obafemi on the same show at all. Don't want one to get overshadowed over the other. And Royce Keys didn't he stare at Obafemi in this match?
I think.
But that was a nice stare down with Royce Keys and Obafemi.
Yeah.
But then he got Austin Theory, but like I said, but with Royce Keys in WWE, I am looking forward to him in WWE. He's gonna fucking kill it. Zero questions asked about that. So then we got 15 Austin Theory, 16 Bronson Reed, and Royce Keys and Bronson Reed did have a stare down. That was nice as well. He got double teamed though by Theory and Reed as well did Royce Keys. Number 17, Ilya Dragunov. 18 from AAA, La Parka. I don't know why he was in this. I would have had someone else like Finn Balor or Chris Jericho in there, which, by the way, Jericho is not in this match. I don't know if Tony Khan's trying to renegotiate hard with Jericho just to keep him away from WWE. I don't know if Tony Khan's this petty. I mean, Jericho's contract is expired with AEW. He's a free agent. Yet his name is still on the roster page. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Jericho got injured and Tony Khan's tacking injury time because he's petty and he really doesn't want Jericho going to WWE that fucking bad because Tony's that petty of a bitch. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't think he was injured in AEW. I don't think he was.
I hope not, and I hope not. And if he was in Tony Tack's injury time, that really says a lot about Tony. And I don't like that at all.
No, I did make my research. He was never injured. I don't know. Maybe Jericho did not want to return in Saudi. Maybe they want to save his return for the States. I think that's the reason.
If that's the case, If that's the case, I can't blame him.
Yeah, maybe they. I think it's more so maybe they wanted to save his return for the United States or Canada if they ever run a show there again.
And plus, isn't Jericho soon to tour with Fozzy in February?
Yeah, he's gonna tour with Fozzy. I think February and March.
So maybe they're not. So maybe we don't see him this Monday on Raw in Philly. Maybe they hold him off till, I don't know, after Mania? I don't know.
I think he does a tour in February and March. Maybe we don't even see him on WWE television or AW television. But honestly, I don't think we see him on AW TV again. I don't think so. I don't think, in terms of a return.
There's nothing left for Jericho there in AEW.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we see him again on AW television. I honestly believe 100% he's gone. In terms of a WWE return, I don't think we see him until at least after WrestleMania. If he does return, which I still think he will, I think we see him on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Especially with the Fozzy tour in February and March.
That's probably what's in the way with this.
Yeah. I think he finishes up the tour first, and then this is where we finally see him back on WWE television.
And maybe it's best to debut him after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I would say. But we did get La Parka from AAA number 18 as well in this thing. We did get Damian Priest eliminated by Royce Keys. We got Royce Keys eliminated by Bronson Reed. We also got where is it here? 12th elimination. La Parka by Austin Theory. And then we got Dragon Lee come out. Number 19. Logan Paul from number 20, Logan Paul number 20 comes out as well. LA Knight, yeah, number 21. I'm happy he was in this thing. I was actually pulling for him to win, but then he gets limited by Cody. It was like, yeah, he lost. I don't know. Or do we get LA Knight Chris Jericho at WrestleMania still? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly thought he would.
Maybe they do what they did with Cody going into WrestleMania 38, LA Knight versus a mystery opponent, and it's Chris Jericho.
Maybe.
Yeah, something like
if
that.
He's not going to be out the Raw after WrestleMania, and if his Fozzy tour is done in March, I think maybe he returns at WrestleMania. Maybe do what they did with Orton last year, where he did an open challenge and it was answered by Joe Hendry. Maybe put LA Knight in a similar role here.
Or like Cody, or Cody and Seth from WrestleMania 38, night 1 in Dallas.
Yeah. You have LA Knight in the Rollins role, the Orton role, and then he does an open challenge because he doesn't have a match on the show, and then it's answered by Chris Jericho, and that's what we hear. The countdown for Break the Walls Down, but then it transitions to Judas.
Yes, I agree. But it makes me wonder what they do with LA Knight at Wrestle. Oh, I think he still gets Jericho, but in that form, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. If Jericho is at WrestleMania, I think that's still the match.
Yeah.
I think that for the time being, heading into the Chamber, he gets his revenge on the Vision for the beatdown that they gave him.
Yeah, I would say. We did get Dragon Lee eliminated by Bronson Reed. Dragon Lee was the 13th one out. He was eliminated by Big Bronson Reed. So the Vision starts to dominate here until they run into LA Knight, and Austin Theory's the 14th out by LA Knight. Yeah. And then we get Bronson Reed out by LA Knight as well, which was a big elimination, and Knight gets Reed out. And then we get LA Knight number 21, like I said. Number 22, Brock Lesnar, with Oba Femi still in the match, and business picks up once again with Brock. And Brock Lesnar was sending people to Suplex City. He had a little bit of a sequence with Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov and Lesnar is something I'd love to see. Lesnar versus Oba as well.
I think that's a match that will happen.
Yeah. We did get Dragunov trying to mess with Lesnar, and Lesnar eliminates Dragunov here. We did get a stare down with Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, man. And that reaction, man. I don't know about you. Do we get Gunther and Brock or Brock and Oba? I think here I would do Brock and Oba. That's probably the Mania match.
But the way they set it up, I think it's going to be Brock and Oba at WrestleMania.
What do you do with Gunther? Then what do you do with Gunther at WrestleMania?
I don't know.
Good question.
I think he will be on the WrestleMania card, though. Still,
but then what do you do with Gunther that's meaningful? He retired AJ Styles.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would be reasonable for Gunther at WrestleMania, bro. I honestly. I mean, do you do if it's gonna be Brock and Oba? I mean, you get Seth versus Braun, Punk versus Roman. It's tough, man. It's tough. Balor versus Dominic.
Gunther versus Royce Keys, maybe. If they really want to strap the rocket to Royce quickly.
Yeah, but Royce Keys should be on SmackDown though. I have no idea, man. I really, really don't know. Or do we get some kind of a legend Derek versus Gunther or something? I don't know
who they can bring back.
Yeah, I don't know who
they can bring back. RVD maybe?
Nah.
He's available.
And there's no. Where's the story?
Yeah, Gunther ending another career. That's the story.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need more than that, bro. I don't know, man. I really, really don't fucking know. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but Hopefully they can figure out something, but maybe Rey Mysterio and Gunther, but there's not much of a story.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is why I feel
Rey
like
Mysterio
Gunther,
isn't going to retire.
this is why Gunther and AJ should have been at WrestleMania instead of the Rumble.
Yeah, honestly. I don't see Rey Mysterio retiring this week.
No, he's not. So
I don't think Rey is going to retire at WrestleMania. I don't see him retiring, not now at least.
Yeah. Anyone in the comments section, if you have an idea of what you would do with Gunther at Mania, leave it down in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you would do with Gunther at this year's Mania. That would be something of value and meaningful with stories. So any ideas for Gunther for this year's Mania, drop it down in the comment section. We would love to hear that. We would love to hear what you think and your thoughts. So drop it down in the comment section. Then we got Dragunov, he's out by Brock Lesnar. Lesnar and Oba have a stare down, and then Oba goes to Suplex City. And then we get the 17th person eliminated. Hold on. I'm gonna get this thing. So we then, after Brock Lesnar comes out, we got The Miz coming out, number 23. He tries to slide in the Rumble, then he slides out, then slides in when Oba gets attacked by several people, and so does Brock. Then they shove everyone away like raw. Or push everyone away, raw, like squat, like raw. And that kind of stuff. And then Miz gets his ass handed to him as we expected. He gets sent to Suplex City.
As per usual.
Yep. And then Rey Fenix comes out, number 24. He gets eliminated quickly by Brock Lesnar. I hated this, man. They did Rey Fenix fucking dirty here, and I do not like this at all. I don't hate WWE, I don't hate Triple H, but I have to call this out. This was bullshit what they did to poor Rey Fenix, man. They got to do something with him. I wish they get back the Lucha Bros back together, Rey Fenix and Penta on Monday Night Raw. Just give me Lucha Bros and Usos at WrestleMania for the World Tag Team titles and call it a day. That's what I feel like they need to do. Poor Rey Fenix, what they fucking did to him here. I don't know if this was Road Dogg or Bruce Pritchard. Clearly, someone like Bruce has to hate Rey Fenix. Clearly has to hate Rey Fenix.
Again, honestly, this is another issue with this match. Honestly, this is another case, another case of WWE. They just wanted to get the fuck out of Saudi. They just wanted to get this done and over with as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you think?
No fucking shit.
Yeah. Like, why is Rey Fenix being eliminated in like 30 seconds?
He was treated like a fucking jobber in this thing. Didn't even get much of any offense. He was treated like a fucking scrub out there.
Yeah, he comes into the ring, eats an F5, and then
this
he's
was
eliminated.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah, he comes into the ring, immediately gets a 5, and then he's tossed out.
Yeah, tossed out like a piece of fucking garbage.
Yeah. A lot of these people,
that.
a lot of the guys in the match, and we explained it also with the women's match, a lot of them, they should have lasted longer than they did. They were eliminated. If anything, they were eliminated far too quickly. Yeah. I don't even think Rey Fenix lasted a minute in this match.
No, not even 30 seconds. This was fucking terrible. Whoever in creative, Road Dogg, Bruce, or any other fucking geek like Bruce or Road Dogg, whoever thought this was a good idea, fire them on the fucking spot. Seriously. This was horrible. We then get Obafemi the 18th out by Brock Lesnar. So there's that should be the Mania match, Oba versus Brock. I would do that at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Now this was a good showing from Obafemi.
Very good showing.
I think he was the one who lasted the longest in the match as well.
And at number 1, got 5 eliminations, has nothing to be ashamed of. And if you think Obafemi's going to flop in the main roster, think again.
Yeah. The guy with the most eliminations in this match. He was there with Brock. He was there with Royce Keys and The Vision. He was there as well with Javon and Trick.
Yep.
He looked great out there.
Yep.
The sky's the limit for him.
Absolutely. And then we get number 25, Yeet Man.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. Last year's Rumble winner, who, by the way, Michael Hayes pitched for Jey Uso to win last year's Rumble. Thank God he didn't get his way this year with Jey Uso winning the Rumble again this year. And Jey Uso, he's in the upper level in the arena, like where the middle section where the crowd is yeeting. He's taking forever fucking yeeting. And he just wants to yeet, yeet, yeet. And then during this, I think it was during this, Brock Lesnar's out by Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, what was that? I mean, I don't mind Brock getting eliminated by two people, and it takes two people to get Brock out. But, I mean, they didn't even show much about with when Jey Uso was showing much yeeting. Like, what the hell was that, bro? What the hell was that? So Jey Uso yeets and yeets. Then he gets in the ring. And you see why I don't like Jey Uso with his overratedness with the yeeting. He goes, and they do his music and he yeets again. And then they have the countdown ticker. And the next entered 26, Roman Reigns. And I'm telling you, bro, when Roman Reigns came out, like 10 seconds after Jey Uso decided to yeet again in the ring. And this is what I hate. And you see why we don't like Jey Uso? You're in the Rumble and you're yeeting in the Rumble?
Are you fucking kidding me? You're in a Royal Rumble match. It's every man for himself. It's every man for himself. Where you if you get eliminated, that's it. You're gonna get thrown over the top rope at any moment. Yeah. And you are focusing on fucking yeeting. Why?
Can Michael Hayes get enough of the fucking yeet? Remember, this is the same man, Michael Hayes. He pitched for Jey Uso to win the Rumble last year on. If you watch WWE, remember that?
Embarrassing. Like, bro, you are in a Royal Rumble match. There are 29 others. Well, there were already like how many people were eliminated by that point? What? 17? 18 people?
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Yeah. There's like 10 more left. Why are you fucking yeeting when you know that somebody could just easily sneak in and eliminate you and take advantage of your fucking stupidity?
And then during this yeeting, Lesnar's out by LA Knight and Cody Rhodes. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, like, you're eliminating Brock Lesnar. It means nothing.
Oh, well, you're just being negative. It means something because it takes two people to eliminate Brock. Oh, stop complaining. No, we're complaining because we give a fuck. We're complaining because Brock Lesnar. Give a fuck. Why
you eliminate Brock Lesnar
in the Rumble yeeting?
Yeah, and you're eliminating Brock Lesnar. You know what, Brock Lesnar, when somebody eliminates Brock Lesnar in a Royal Rumble match or a name like Brock, it should feel like a big deal, right?
Yep.
Right? It should feel like a big deal. Brock Lesnar gets eliminated, and it means nothing. You would never even know he was eliminated because they were focusing too much on the fucking yeeting and the entrance.
And then Jake decides to yeet again. Then the
in the ring,
comes on.
That's exactly what I paid to see a Rumble match for. That's exactly what I would be doing in a Rumble match, yeeting and not winning the Rumble or not lasting until at least the end. No, let's yeet. Like, who's getting the hard on for this? Michael Hayes? Bruce Pritchard?
Fucking D-O-G-O-double-G. Oh, you didn't know?
Do they have a hard on for the yeeting? Like, are you joking? And you wonder why this man flopped as the World Heavyweight Champion. And you wonder why. And you wonder why his matches are shit. Yep. You are focusing on the entrance. He's more focused on yeeting than actually put on a good match.
Fucking ridiculous.
You see why CM Punk had the worst match of his WWE career against this man.
And yet, idiots on social media were saying, oh, this was Jey Uso's best match, the match with Punk on November 1st, Saturday night's main event in Utah last November. What the fuck were you watching? That match was fucking terrible. That match was fucking bad.
This man was gassed by the time he entered the ring.
Dude, he botched a neck breaker, that CM Punk neck breaker. Jey Uso botched the landing of a neck breaker cell. And Punk legit kicked him in the head because Punk was legit pissed that Jey botched the selling.
Yeah, I don't blame him. This is what happens when a guy gets gassed out by the time he makes it to the ring because he's too focused on his entrance.
Yeah. And then the countdown ticker comes on, the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown ticker. When that pops up, when Jey Uso decides to eat in the ring, decides to eat for a second time when he's in the ring in the match. And then Roman Reigns comes out 26. And I was so, and dude, Roman came out, interrupted the yeeting. I could not have been more happy to see Roman Reigns here.
Literally, yeah.
Thank you, Roman, for interrupting some more nauseating yeeting. Thank you, Roman Reigns. I could not have been more happier to see Roman Reigns come out.
Literally, he saved us from this atrocity.
Yeah, and then when he gets in the ring, then he gets in the ring, right? And then Miz gets speared. Oh, then Roman's all business. He does the ooh-ah. He spears Miz. Miz is out by Roman. And Miz, another Rumble with 0 eliminations, by the way. Miz has been in the Rumble for several years. He's eliminated, what, 2 people throughout his whole times in the Rumble?
Yeah. Yeah, he's eliminated Alex Riley. Who? Exactly.
Yeah.
And R-Truth.
Yeah. Jobber. And
only 2 people. He's been in 17 Royal Rumble matches. He's been in this was his 17th Royal Rumble match.
Fun little fact right here.
Yeah, his 17th Royal Rumble match. And he has only eliminated 2 people. The 2 people, mind you, were in the same match, the 2012 Royal Rumble.
Now he's in his next Rumble, like 17th Rumble, this one tonight, 2026. He gets 0 eliminations, and he's 23, and he gets eliminated by the 26th entrant, Roman Reigns, and Miz having 0 eliminations. By the way, and didn't Roman eliminate Miz in last year's Rumble? I think. Second year in a row, Miz eliminated in the Rumble by Roman. Oh, but the Miz is awesome. He's a Rumble master. Rumble master, my ass. My ass.
Yeah. More like a Rumble joke.
Yeah. So Miz is tossed out by Roman Reigns. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Miz. And then we get LA Knight eliminated by Cody Rhodes off the disaster kick. So then I was like, yeah, I think, Roman. My pick was Roman winning. LA Knight would have been nice, but then LA Knight gets out. I'm like, yep, Roman's going to win. And then we get so then Roman Reigns enters. And then we get 27, Jacob fought 2. And I think when Roman Reigns just came out too, then Jay and Roman were going to eat together. And then Jay was doing that again was Jey Uso. And then Roman's like, and then right when the Jey Uso music was going to hit, Roman Reigns gives Jay an uppercut. And I'm like, yes, thank you, Roman, again, for cutting off Yeet again. Thank you, Roman Reigns.
Even Roman didn't want to Yeet. Even he knew it was bad.
Even he knows Yeet, man, can't fucking wrestle, and he blows. So thank you, Roman Reigns. So then we get 27, Jacob fought 2. 28, Penta, Zero Miedo. Last year he was number 2 in the Rumble. This year was 28. And then we get 29, Randy Orton as well. And then we get number 30, Gunther. I don't know if I wouldn't have had him in the Rumble, honestly. I would have had either Finn Balor or Chris Jericho. Honestly. Because Gunther had wrestled AJ early in the match.
I don't think Jericho was even
put him in the Rumble. He retired AJ. Did you really need to put Gunther in the Rumble? You know?
No. I don't even think Jericho was in Saudi. Honestly, if Jericho was in Saudi, I think he would have been in the Rumble, but I don't think he was there.
And also has his Fozzy tour.
Honestly, why wasn't Finn Balor in the match?
Well, Adam Pearce said that the Rumble's full. Bullshit. Rumble's full my fucking ass. Full. Yeah, that's a Pierce told Balor
Mr. Iguana, and no hate towards Mr. Iguana. No hate towards Mr. Iguana or La Parca. I mean, they're good. They're good guys. We like them. But you had Mr. Iguana and La Parca, 2 guys who don't even, at least they're not under WWE contract. They're under AAA contract, but they're not under WWE contract. And yet they are somehow in the men's Royal Rumble match. Yet there was no time for Finn Balor. Like, how does that work?
You gotta have They gotta. I would say do Balor and Punk for the world title in Chicago at the Elimination Chamber. I would do that, honestly. So we did then get the 21st. So then the 22nd wrestler eliminated was Javon Evans off a midair RKO by Orton. Then Orton eliminates Javon. Now, they tried this spot. I remember the second NXT on the CW. They think they were in St. Louis, where Javon Evans tried a midair RKO by Orton in midair to Javon, but they botched it. This time they didn't. And it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Midair RKO to Javon by Orton. Now, a future program with Orton and Javon, I'd love to see.
I think they'll do that at some point.
Yeah. Not now, but when the time's right, I'd love to see it. So then we got that. We then got the 23rd person eliminated, Penta by Gunther, as well. The 24th eliminated was now Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes and Orton were double teaming Gunther. Then Cody cutters Orton. And then I think Fatu and Cody were going at it. And then Cody Roman. And then Cody was tossed over the top rope. He skid the cat. Then he was about to get in the ring from skid the cat. Then out of nowhere, the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, claymores Cody and eliminates Cody in the Rumble. And Fatu was looking at Drew like, what are you doing? And Fatu didn't even like how Drew eliminated Cody, because Fatu looks like he was going to take care of Cody. And Drew eliminates Cody in the Rumble. I think we get Cody, Drew, Fatu, triple threat, WrestleMania, WWE Championship. I think that's a direction they go. I would give the Elimination Chamber the Jacob Fatu, and I would have Cody politic to get in the match. It makes the triple threat at WrestleMania. I would not do Cody and Drew. We've seen that several times. And what do you do with Fatu? You can't leave him off the card.
No.
I would have the triple threat. What you do with Orton, I have no idea. Honestly. But we'll see. But I mean, I would do Cody, Drew, and Fatu. What you do with Orton, we'll see. Maybe Cody and Orton, Cody Orton one-on-one and Fatu and Drew one-on-one.
Maybe.
We'll see what they do, but I think the triple threat is looking like the likely direction they're going with, in my opinion, after what we saw here with how Cody got eliminated and how Jacob Fatu looked at Drew after Drew eliminated Cody. And those three have been feuding lately on SmackDown, so I think that's a direction they're going for WrestleMania 42. And then after Cody, Rhodes got eliminated by Drew McIntyre. Then Jacob Fatu from behind is eliminated then by Roman Reigns as Jacob Fatu. And then Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, I think they're about to buddy again. And then Roman Reigns punches Jey Uso. And then Roman Reigns was about to run the ropes, hit the spear, but Jey gets the spear on Roman. And then I'm like, oh, God, please don't tell me Jey's about to win and be in the final four. I'm like, please, no. And then Jey, after he hits a spear, he picks up Roman, tries to throw him over the top rope, but Roman counters, and Roman eliminates Jey. And Jey Uso's eliminated. And I say, thank you, Roman Reigns,
thank God,
for getting Yeet Man out. And not another Yeet Man Royal Rumble. Thank you, Tribal Chief. Yes. Thank you, Roman Reigns. I could not have been more happier with Roman tonight. Seriously, I could not have been more smiley than I was.
Yeah. On no planet should Jey Uso win another Royal Rumble. Again.
Well, Michael Hayes pitched it last year. Well, this year he didn't get his way. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where, back to the tag division where Jey Uso belongs.
Yep, and I'm sure Rikishi was crying as we speak as well. Saying, hey, what are you doing? That's my son.
I guarantee you, we're gonna hear him say this on this podcast.
You won't hear
You
the
know
end of
that.
it, bro, from Rikishi.
Yeah, I mean Roman won. I mean he's still family. Shouldn't he be happy?
Well, it's not my son. Yeah, let Rikishi cry. All he wants. That his son didn't win the Rumble yet again. Thank you, Roman, for eliminating Jay and saving us from another Yeet Man Rumble. Thank you, Roman Reigns. Thank you, Roman Reigns. So then we're down to the final four. Roman Reigns, Gunther, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. So then we get Logan Paul eliminated by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns going on Superman punch mode. And Logan Paul got laid out. Logan Paul was eliminated by Roman Reigns. And then we got Randy Orton hitting a RKO on Roman, which looked really good. Then Gunther tosses Orton out. Orton's out by Gunther. We're down to the final two, Gunther and Roman Reigns. Gunther's putting Roman Reigns in a sleeper hold, stuff like that. You got Roman Reigns hitting Superman punch and spear, and then Gunther's about to win, but then Gunther's tossed out by Roman, and Gunther's eliminated, and Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble for a second time in his career. And 11 years later, like exactly 11 years ago, Sunday, January 25th, 2015, Roman Reigns won the Rumble in Philly. He was booed out of the building. 11 years later, around the exact time, 6 days later, around this exact time, like year format. 11 years later, he wins the Rumble January 31st of 2026. Now, the only difference is Roman Reigns wasn't booed out of the building like he was in Philly. Remember that?
Yeah, he was. This time around, he was actually cheered.
So at least he was cheered. It wasn't a big major fan backlash, because I remember Royal Rumble 2015. He was booed out of that Philly building, and people were canceling the WWE Network. There were riots outside the arena, and fans were pissed. It was a big, big fan backlash around that Philly arena. It was crazy. And they did not want Roman winning, and he was booed out the fucking building. At least here he was not. It was the complete opposite. So Roman wins the Rumble. He goes to WrestleMania. Do you think this is the right move? See, I mean, I don't think Roman needed it, but what else could you have done? I mean, Triple H has been in charge, taking over for Vince for at least a couple years. I mean, he hasn't created one new star yet. He hasn't created any new stars so far, but it takes time to build up new stars. Obafemi is just getting started. Triple H does know how to make new stars. He will. He can, and he does, and he will. But it takes time to build these people up to make great new stars. Like Obafemi, Gunther, Javon Evans, Trick Williams. They're just getting started. It takes time to build them up. It doesn't happen overnight.
I mean, I wouldn't say that he hasn't built any since he took over. I mean, there's like Dominic, for example. And there's Io, but even though they worked in NXT, he booked her in NXT as Io Shirai. And he gave Rhea Ripley a much better made roster run than what she had under Vince.
And did you hear that after the Royal Rumble post show that the Saudi fans were chanting when Triple H was interviewed, I think, talking about the Rumble show? There were Saudi fans chanting, "We want Vince, we want Vince." I kid you not.
Idiots.
I kid you not.
Idiots. Yeah, I see
what. I seen this on social media before we went live here. I kid you not, bro. Chance of "We want Vince." Let me tell you something. Anybody who wants Vince back, go back and watch 2018. Go back and watch 2018, even 2019, and even the Thunderdome era 2020 and 2021 even. Go back and watch those, and I dare you to say, yeah, Triple H is worse and is a worse booker than Vince, and is worse than Vince, and Triple H should be fired, and Vince should be back. Idiots. Are you really sure about that?
Be careful what you wish for. That's what I say. Be careful what you wish for.
Yes, Triple H is not perfect, but is it better than him? Is it better than with him than with Vince? Absolutely yes. Well, absolutely yes. Nobody wants Vince there. Nobody.
Why? Why? Because he booked Roman to win the Rumble? Let me tell you something. If Vince was in charge, I guarantee you'd see that same result.
90% of today's WWE current main roster would not be there if Vince was there.
Yeah.
Io Sky would not be there. Rhea Ripley would probably be released. CM Punk would not be there. Royce Keys, you think he'd be in WWE or Ricky Saints? Fuck no. Ethan Page would not be there. Penta and Ray Phoenix wouldn't be there. You know, the AAA partnership, TNA partnership would not be a fucking thing. Carmelo Hayes would probably be released. Obafemi would not be booked right under Vince. Rusev would not be back. Aleister Black would not be back. Cody Rhodes would not be where he is today. Jacob Fatu would not be in WWE. Vince could have brought him in when he had the chance, and he didn't. You think Jacob Fatu would even stand a chance under Vince McMahon or even be brought in under Vince? Fuck no. Dragunov, he'd probably be released. Bronson Reed, he'd be released. Austin Theory, he'd probably be released too. LA Knight would be released. LA Knight was Max Dupree. He walked out, and he was on the verge of being released until Triple H took over in 2022.
Damian Priest,
remember that?
He was almost released. Yeah, awful. Damian Priest, he was almost released by Vince.
And he would have been. Chad Gable would be released too.
Oh my God.
Bailey would be released. Lyra Valkyria would be released. Kairi Sane would not be back.
Oh my God, these people.
Jordan Grace would not be there. Candice LeRae would not be there. So Ruka would probably get buried on the main roster by Vince, and she'd probably get released. Roxanne Perez would probably be released.
Yeah.
Raquel Rodriguez would be released. Stephanie Vaquero and Julia would not even be in the WWE. And you really want Vince McMahon back.
Idiots. This is why brain testing is needed. I'm concerned.
Mental illness is a real thing, and people really need to get their heads checked. Seriously.
Literally. This is. Do these people have CTE? If that's the case, they need to get their fucking brains checked.
Yeah. Anybody who wants Vince back or thinks that Triple H sucks and is worse than Vince and that he should be fired and that Vince should be back, anyone who says that, you are permanently blocked, no questions asked, and you're a fucking idiot.
No wonder Hunter went on that interview and told people to fuck off. No wonder. Imagine wanting that fucking old 80-year-old rapist back.
Now, the past year from 2025, Triple H has played it safe. Yes, he has. It's not perfect under him. Could he do better? Yes. Does he have flaws? Yes. Is the honeymoon wearing off or is weared off? Yes. Is he bad at his job? No. Does he suck as a booker? No. Is he handcuffed? I believe so. Does he have bosses to answer to? I believe so. But Is he bad at his job? Is he worse than Vince? No and no. Anyone that says that Vince was better and it's worse under Triple H and Vince and that Triple H should be fired and he sucks, get him out, and that Vince should be back. Anyone who says that, I'm telling you right now, you are a fucking retard. You are a fucking retard.
What else? You thought those last years under Vince were bad. What the fuck do you think an 80-year-old Vince, closer to 81 years old, would do with this fucking current roster? He'd fucking bury half of these people.
They wouldn't even be employed.
Literally.
They wouldn't even be employed.
They'd be in TNA or AEW by now.
Yeah.
If this clown was in charge.
Yeah. Finn Balor would be another one released under Vince.
My God.
Dominic would not, the Judgment Day would not be a thing, and Dominic would not be where he is.
Yeah.
Be like, hi, I'm happy to be here. Roxanne Perez would be like, hi, I'm happy to be here. Blake Monroe, she would not be there if Vince was there.
He'd probably change her name every month. What was her last name? Mariah May? He'd probably name her Mariah April, Mariah July every month. Her name would be changed.
Would not put it past Vince to do something like that. Because he would do this. You think Fraxian would be on the main roster? They probably get cut too. Johnny Gargano would not be there if Vince was there.
Yeah.
Several others. Dragon Lee would not be there if Vince was there. The Creed brothers would probably get released as well if Vince was there. The War Raiders would still be the Viking Raiders. Pete Dunne would still be Butch. Tyler Bate would not be on the main roster. He'd most likely be fucking released. Legato and Santos Escobar, they would be released as well if Vince was there.
You think Santos Escobar would resign under a Vince McMahon administration? No.
Fuck no. Fuck no. CM Punk would not be back ever if Vince was still there.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
My God. My God.
Idiots like that. Like there are idiots out there that think that Vince was better and that he should be back, man. Get your
They're just as
fucking
bad
head
as Bruce
checked.
Pritchard and Road Dogg.
Triple H, I mean, yes, Triple H is the head of creative. It's on him. That's true. So, I mean, he's going to get the blame, and rightfully so. But Triple H is not the one. He's not the cancer that needs to be removed. He's not the one that needs to be canned. He's not the cancer. Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard, they're the ones that need to get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Because nothing will change as long as Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard are still there.
These are fans. Obviously, as well with Bruce and Road Dogg, and these are fans who are chanting, "We want Vince back." These are the people that are not for the betterment of WWE.
No, they're the root of the fucking problem.
Oh, we owe our lives to Vince. Oh, we need to pay homage to Vince. We owe our lives to Vince McMahon. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, well, I owe my life to Vince. Let me tell you something. You don't owe Vince shit. You don't owe Vince shit. Vince hated professional wrestling. You owe Vince nothing.
This is what he. These are people who accept fucking mediocrity. These are people that accept dog shit.
Yep, and nobody should be standing for that.
The mediocrity should never be accepted. Dog shit should never be accepted.
WWE last year was not a good year. There was good in late 2022, 2023. I'd even say 2024 was a good year for them too. Last year was not a good year for them. And last year, over the past year, they've played it safe. And we're just complaining because we genuinely care. We just want them to do good. We just want a good product at the end of the day. That's all we're saying. Doesn't mean Triple H sucks or should get rid of him or that he can't book or that we hate him. No, we just want a better product.
Absolutely. And he's the right guy.
We're just saying, and we don't hold much hope, but last year was so bad that we're hoping this year's better. Not holding much breath. The Rumble wasn't bad today, but we just want a better product. We just want better this year than last year because last year was not good. And we just want a good product and we care. That's all we're saying. It's not personal. You know, if it was personal, we'd say it to someone's face. It's not a personal attack on anybody here. It's not. We just want good. We don't want mediocrity. We don't want safe. We want things to make sense, but we just want like excitement, some story. That's the key, story. We just want good.
We just don't.
Yeah, logical and good
and common
story.
Sense.
The worst thing in the world is to feel nothing. And you felt nothing last year, and last year was not good. We don't want that same thing this year. We just
look at the Rumble. There was even good in this Rumble. You know, you have Oba dominating. You had Royce Keys. You look good out there.
Yeah.
You had Trick Williams and Javon Evans giving some shine.
Yeah.
And then look at the Women's Rumble. Lash Legend. She looked like a star. Liv Morgan won the Rumble. You're setting up that story with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, you had some story coming out of this.
Yeah. You were having stories in both Rumble
So there
matches.
is hope there. With the stories that they had coming out of this and the future stars, there is hope for this.
Yeah, I think Triple H will do good. Honestly, I think Triple H will do better this year than last year.
I really hope so. I'm not holding out much breath, but I hope so because last year was just not good.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he recognizes.
And unfortunately, Triple H has bosses to answer to. And Ari, Emmanuel, Mark Shapiro, who don't know a damn thing about wrestling.
Yeah, I think Connor, I think he's, if I know the guy, I think he's determined to make this year much better. But just look at, the potential Mania matches, Roman and Punk, Seth and Braun, Cody, Jacob, and Drew, Liv, Roxanne, Raquel, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Maybe Jade and Bianca. These are big matches for WrestleMania. I think, and I'm sure he would want a much better WrestleMania this year than last year because, Dwayne got involved and the John Cena heel turn, what a fucking mess that was.
Yep.
Please never again invite Travis Scott to a WrestleMania main event, please.
Yeah. I think he's pretty much done with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Cutter will do much better. And with this Rumble, I think that was good coming out of the Rumble, and you build intrigue to what will happen on Raw and on SmackDown, and heading into the Elimination Chamber.
Now, the build to this Rumble was very lackluster, and this wasn't bad, this show, the Rumble, but it could have been better. But it just goes to show these Saudi shows don't mean anything, and I can't wait. It's like you've said, and I've said throughout multiple times throughout the show, feels like they didn't even want to be there in Saudi. They just wanted to be in there and get the fuck out. They got their money. They really don't want anything. They want absolutely nothing to do with Saudi. They just want to get in, get the fuck out, and then back to the US and do what they really need to do.
Yeah. And there's going to be 2 more Saudi shows. Maybe those shows are much better because it's not the Royal Rumble. Maybe they will be much better shows, hopefully. And the crowd will be more receptive.
And they've been international throughout this whole month in the UK, and then in Canada, and then in Saudi. And I feel like I feel like it's more business picking up when they're on the United States soil.
Yeah. I think they will pick things up, when they're back in America. And with Raw and with SmackDown, then heading into the Chamber in Chicago, heading into WrestleMania. I think
the Chamber in Chicago should be a very good show, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
Yeah, so Roman Reigns, he won the Royal Rumble. He got a good reception. I think we get Roman versus Punk this year, going back to last year, where they had that match with Seth Rollins, the triple threat night 1 main event. I think this match closes out night 2. And this is the first time, at least, as the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, that this is the first time we get to see Roman versus Punk 1-on-1.
Do we give Roman the title, or do we keep the title on Punk? I would say keep the title on Punk.
I would keep the title on Punk.
Do we really need Roman as a part-time champ again? We don't need that again. And Roman does not need to win any world titles anymore.
Now, I would keep the belt up. Punk's run so far has been really good. Good, match with Balor, the match with Finn and Braun Breaker and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I think they have a good thing going with his reign. Maybe we get a rematch with Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber. They have a good thing going with Punk as the world champion.
Or do we get maybe, I don't know, Cody or Balor win the Chamber and get Punk, and we get Roman and Drew at Mania? That I would not mind either.
Maybe.
And Drew and Roman could have been the match last year, and should have been, when Drew McIntyre was the Bloodline Hunter, and Drew could go over Roman.
Maybe you could do that. And Punk and Cody, that's a match they haven't done yet, and they have to do it.
And Punk and Cody teased the match with Punk last night on SmackDown for WrestleMania.
Yeah, there was.
Saying,
I think,
eventually, bud, we got to go at it.
Yeah, and then there was an IG story I believe I seen with Cody. Where if you notice, one of his IG stories, the song was "Cult of Personality" from Living Color.
Cody and Punk world title, I have no problem with that at all.
Maybe that's the match. Maybe Cody wins the Chamber.
Main event.
Yeah, maybe Cody wins the Chamber, but he goes after CM Punk. If Roman goes after McIntyre, because Cody, he can't challenge Drew so long as he's the WWE champion.
Yeah.
Maybe Roman goes after Drew. Cody wins the Chamber, and he faces CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's the night 1 main event. Maybe
you have
or maybe night 2. Or maybe night 2. I would put Cody and Punk on night 2, and you have Roman and Drew close out night 1.
Or we could do the other way around, but I mean, I will say this, that if we get Cody and Punk and Drew and Roman, I think that I would not have an issue with those two at all. That screams WrestleMania, and I think that would be 2 good ways to go about it. Or you could do Drew, Cody, fought 2, and Roman and Punk. Roman and Punk's a fresh match, and that's a match that would be something people would want to see.
Yeah.
And Punk's a good storyteller, and Punk and Roman would be very, very good. I think it'd be amazing. But
absolutely.
And there's a story you could probably tell with that. And if anyone can tell a story, it's CM Punk. And he's had a good world title reign so far.
Yeah.
Matches with
AJ. I would keep it going after WrestleMania. I would keep that going after WrestleMania. I would have him retain over Roman.
Yeah, I don't. Just because Roman Reigns won the Rumble doesn't mean he needs to win the championship.
Yeah, and you still have to resolve, the storyline with Punk and Seth Rollins.
Yes.
And then you build the triple threat at Backlash. You have Rollins versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania, and then they both challenge CM Punk for the World Championship in a triple threat match at Backlash. After that.
Yeah. Maybe it could then lead to Braun versus Roman at SummerSlam for the world title in Minneapolis.
Who knows? Maybe.
We haven't gotten Braun versus Roman yet.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see. But I mean, I don't hate Roman winning the Rumble. I mean, did he need it? No. But who else was there? No one else is there.
The only
yet.
guy I would have had, honestly, who I would have had win was Braun Breaker, honestly.
Or LA Knight would have been a nice surprise.
Yeah, but
You
at
want to
least
throw
with
some
Roman
unpredictability.
winning,
That would have been nice.
yeah, but with Roman winning, it made sense. If he had to win it, it had to make sense.
And Roman is
And
not. And the thing about Roman, when he's on TV and every time he's back on TV, he's not there for nothing. If he's on TV, it's for a meaning and purpose.
Absolutely.
So he was gonna be back. He wasn't seen since Survivor Series War Games last November when he said to Punk, I respect you, Cody. I don't want to team with you again. If you remember what Roman said after the War Games last November, if you remember.
Yeah.
And Roman wasn't seen since War Games, and was back and returned at the Rumble and won it. Roman has not been seen since War Games, but you're not gonna have Roman back in a meaningless way. If Roman was gonna be back and be back in the Rumble, he had to do a meaningful way with him, whether it was a story, whether he wins or loses, and you were gonna have him back every time with a purpose, not for just nothing. And I don't think Roman had a good. And I don't think Roman had a good year last year. If you look back at it, outside of the triple threat with Punk and Rollins.
How many matches did he even have last year? 5?
Yeah, and he
Like
just
the men's
lost the
Rumble.
vision. But I mean, it wasn't much of anything last year.
Yeah, like the men's Rumble, the triple threat in Mania, the match with Bronson Reed at Clash of Paris, the tag team match that he teamed with Heat Man against Braun and Bronson. The Crown Jewel match with Bronson Reed, and the Survivor Series War Games. That's 6 matches. Like, what did he do? What did he do all year?
He did not.
He was off television for like 90% of the year.
He didn't do much of anything last year. I don't think he had a best year last year.
Yeah.
When Roman is on TV, it matters.
I'm
when
guessing
Roman's
it's more
on
so
TV,
his
it makes
schedule,
things
maybe.
better.
I'm guessing that's because of his schedule. That's why he had his very few matches last year.
I don't know. But I will say this, Roman Reigns is on TV. It makes TV a lot better and must see. Like, he makes it better. He makes things are better when he's there. It just shows how valuable Roman Reigns truly is. And I mean, do I hate him winning the Rumble? No. Is it like a big backlash how he won in 2015? Complete opposite. Nothing like that. 2015 when he won was bad. This was not bad with him winning it. So I don't hate it. Does he need it? No. But do I hate it? No.
No.
Where do I think we get? I think we do Roman and Punk. If it's not that, Roman and Drew. I know Dave Meltzer said it's going to be Cody and Roman. Who no one knows what's going on with Mania except Triple H and Nick Khan. Meltzer knows nothing, and neither does Alvarez or any other of the dirt sheets that want to try and predict the WrestleMania card. No dirt sheets know anything with the Mania card this year, except Triple H and Nick Khan. That's it. So this Rumble, it wasn't even a bad show, but the Saudi crowd didn't really help much with the show. They were silent throughout multiple parts of the show. And I don't know if you saw the lighting in the stadium crowd. It felt like empty seats. I don't know if you caught that.
I seen the picture. I honestly, same thing. I honestly thought it was
like. It felt like there was like low attendance.
I honestly thought it was
didn't look
empty, but
good.
but then I think there was pictures that fans took during the show. There wasn't an empty seat. I've seen the pictures that fans took who attended the show. It wasn't an empty seat. There were people there. I guess the lighting looked weird though.
Yeah, they could have done that production with the lighting a lot better. I didn't.
Yeah, but there were people there. It wasn't like the seats were empty. And first of all, there's no way WWE would show empty fucking seats.
Yeah, they don't do that. Like TNA.
Yeah, there's no way they would show. Yeah. Yeah, maybe TNA, they should be learning from WWE how to do production. There's no way they would show empty seats in the arena and with the chairs there, nobody sitting there. There's no way. I think maybe there was malfunction.
Probably.
Maybe there was either a malfunction or it just wasn't their best night production-wise. But there were people there in attendance. Maybe just the lighting looked weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but as I said before, please don't have the Royal Rumble in Saudi ever again if this was what we saw. There were like if this Rumble was in the United States, I swear to God it'd be so much better.
United
And
States, United Kingdom, Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, they only did the Rumble in Saudi because they got big money. Honestly.
Yeah, and probably make more than 50 million or billion because of the Rumble.
Yeah.
Imagine what they'll make with WrestleMania next year in Saudi.
Yeah, that's honestly why they had the Rumble in Saudi, because the Saudi people, they gave them, astronomical number, maybe $100 million, maybe $200 million, and WWE took it. That's honestly why.
Yeah. And it's like they just want and it's like they just didn't want to be there. It's like, okay, we're here now. Can we get out? That's what the mentality felt like with that. With WWE.
And there were questionable things, especially with the amount of people in the men's and women's Rumble that were eliminated just so quickly. Yeah. I just honestly wanted to end it as fast as possible. But overall, honestly, I think it was a decent show.
Can't wait for their Saudi deal to come up and be done. But I think they probably re-signed. But it's up in like what 2028. I know they have WrestleMania in Saudi next year, but their deal expires in 2028. I could see them re-upping, but I can't wait for them. But it's like I would just not re-up. I don't know. But a lot of sports now have with the Saudi. I don't know. Yeah, but
maybe they re-up. But honestly, if personally, it will be better if they don't.
Yeah. There's no meaning, and it just gets in the fucking. There's no meaning with these WWE shows in Saudi, and it just gets in the WWE's fucking way, dude. It really does. I
mean, the shows can be good, but there are a lot of times where it cannot be. I mean, I would say the show was in the middle. It was decent.
Yeah, it was
there
not.
Were a lot of questionable
it wasn't things. The worst show ever. The build was lackluster, but I don't think this was one of the worst shows.
Yeah, far from it.
But just with the Saudi environment, it just brings the show down. Like multiple times in the show, Saudi wasn't making a noise. Like if you're gonna be there, at least make some noise.
It's strange to do because on SmackDown when Randy Orton make his entrance, the crowd were singing. They were acting big. I don't know what happened there.
Like when Saudi's just silent most of the time, and it's enough to put you to sleep or feel bored. I don't like that.
Like on SmackDown, like they were good. I don't know what happened when in the Rumble. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they were too tiring. I'm not sure.
But the crowd could have made a lot more noise than they did here. And I will say this here. I mean, I am so happy they're now WWE's finally back in the United States starting this Monday on Raw in Philadelphia. Thank God. Now we can start picking up business here. So they'll be in Philly this Monday on Raw. Thank God they're back on U.S. soil. And done with these international shows, at least for a while. So now they can start doing what they need to do starting this Monday on Raw is what I will say about that. And I hope they never do the Rumble in Saudi again. Just do the United States or the UK for the Rumble. It's much better off. So, and with the women with the body covering, at least in the United States, you don't see that. So, or in the UK, but those are overall thoughts on the Rumble this year. They did get the Rumble winners right, in my opinion. Much better than last year's picks.
They went with the right ones.
Last year was Charlotte Flair and Jey Uso. This year, Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns. I will say Roman Reigns a much better pick than Jey Uso, and Liv Morgan a much better pick than Charlotte Flair. So at least they got the Rumble winners right. I just hope this year is better than last year. I'm not holding my breath on that, but we'll see what happens. And hopefully this Monday on Raw is a good show in Philly. And Philly is more times than not a very good crowd. I've been to Philly 2 years ago for WrestleMania 40 weekend. Very good crowd is Philadelphia. So this Monday should be no different. I'm actually looking forward to this Monday on Raw. And Raw is going to be back in the U.S. finally this Monday. I'm actually looking forward to this Monday on Raw.
Yeah, you got the Judgment Day storyline, now kicking it to next gear.
Yeah.
You got the women's world title match, which has now been made even more interesting. Maybe Roman is at the show.
You got Balor and Punk.
Yeah, you get maybe Dominic is there. Hopefully he's back before Mania. You got Chad Gable back. Now that you can finish up the storyline with the El Grande stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So
this Monday on Raw is shaping up to be good.
Yeah, and hopefully we get a good show Monday. And I'm so happy that WWE's finally back in the US this Monday on Raw, February 2nd. So I'm very glad about that right there. So, and those are our overall thoughts on the Rumble here, folks, and all the other good stuff. And finally on the road to WrestleMania. To WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. And hopefully Mania this year is better than last year, because last year was fucking terrible. So we'll see what happens. But I am Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, Adam Carl. Episode 10 of FioriousNation. Man, I can't believe we've had 10 episodes, man.
Yeah. There's 2 more episodes.
Yeah, many more to come, man. A lot more than 10.
Yeah, so this episode, obviously, this was mostly rolling around the Rumble. This was just the Royal Rumble. I think next week we're going to be resuming, our usual.
Next week we're going to go back to the usual thing, talk about news and rumors. We did have Ava. I think we mentioned it early in the show. Ava, the Rock's daughter, is no longer NXT general manager. Her last NXT appearance was this past Tuesday. She's gone from the company. We don't know who the new GM is going to be for NXT. It'll probably be revealed most likely this Tuesday on NXT.
We're gonna resume. Obviously, our talks on the weekly shows. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Gonna resume. RAW talks. Yeah.
We did get a new TNT champion tonight in Tommaso Ciampa, by the way.
Yeah.
Tonight during Collision.
Yeah, so he won on his debut match. So
good.
That's nice.
Good.
Yeah, as he should.
I don't trust Tony Khan with him as champ at all, but thank God he won. Now it's all in the follow-up.
Yeah, maybe we'll discuss it more, next week. Yes, and as well as the Ava thing, we'll discuss it more.
Yeah.
So we're going to be back on our usual, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW talks.
Yeah.
The weekly shows.
No TNA, though. Again, no TNA.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to discuss Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite, WWE, and AEW talks.
In news and rumors. So,
we're going to talk about Ava and Ciampa. Ava leaving NXT, leaving WWE, and Ciampa winning the TNT title on Collision.
Yep, etc. We'll resume back to those talks next week for episode 11. So, tonight was just talking about the Rumble.
Yeah, next week we're going to be back to our normal things.
Yeah. So that will be for episode 11 around 8:30 for episode 11. Next week for February the 7th for episode 11 right here on YouTube. So that will most likely be the case for back to resuming normal discussion next week. But we appreciate you showing up here, though, regarding the Rumble and stuff. And we appreciate every single one of you, love every single one of you. And we're glad you joined us here. So it's grateful as usual. And hit the like on the video, subscribe to FioriousNation, hit the bell for all notifications once you do subscribe to FioriousNation. It would help in the YouTube algorithm. So go like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications whenever we're live. And you're notified whenever we're live here on YouTube every Saturday night for the Forbidden Podcast. Follow me, X at FioriNick579, Adam Carl on X at AdamCarl2005, all that good stuff. And Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. Adam Carl, any other words before we get the hell out of here?
It's great doing this show. It's great doing it. And,
always.
Now, if you're watching, I hope everybody has a good day.
Absolutely.
Never feel down. Always look strong. Always stay strong and stay safe.
Absolutely. And we will see you next Saturday night, 8:30, right here on YouTube. FioriousNation Forbidden Podcast, episode 11, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We love every single one of you. We'll see you next Saturday night, February 7th, for episode 11 of the Forbidden Podcast. I'm Nick Fiore. This is Adam Carl. This is the Forbidden Podcast. Have a good night, everybody, and stay warm. I know it's cold, negative 10 degrees outside, so stay warm, stay inside, and stay nice and cozy and warm. We will see you next week for episode 11 for Forbidden Podcast. Have a good night, everybody. Peace, and see you next week for episode 11 of the Forbidden Podcast. We will talk to you guys later.